the void they boldly go. Captains brave the cosmic flow. Kirk charisma charts the course. Picard's wisdom sets the force. Starships gleam in endless night. Through the darkness shining bright. Janeway's courage in the fray. Cisco's strength leads the way. Archer dreams of yore and you. Janeway's heart sees journeys through. Starbases sprawl in distant skies, with hope and tears in every cry. Galaxies are playgrounds vast, memories and futures cast. Engines burn and stars ignite. Spaces unfold endless night. Kirk's laughter echoes timeless ring. Picard's voice injustice sing. In between the light and dark, every soul leaves a mark. Starships gleam in endless night. Through the darkness shining bright. Janeway's courage in the fray. Cisco's strength leads the way. Galaxies are playgrounds vast, memories and futures cast. Engines burn and stars ignite. Spaces unfold endless night. Kirk's laughter echoes. Silence ring. Picard's voice injustice sing. In between the light and dark, every soul leaves a mark. Starships gleam in endless night. Through the darkness shining bright. Janeway's courage in the fray. Cisco's strength leads the way.
Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to the next episode. I think we're on episode 10, aren't we? Of my series, my thoughts on every episode of Star Trek. classic Star Trek from the original series up to Enterprise, and we're currently on Season 6 of Star Trek The Next Generation. So that's what we're going to be looking at tonight. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Explore the description for links for various stuff such as merch, t-shirts like that with the USS Alcide, and other stuff, my books and various websites and stuff like that. Excuse me. Become a member and you can join in the live chat. I think it's members only in the live chat. Yes, it is. You can join the live chat and we'll have some discourse. Right, so season 6. How many episodes? I think there's 26 episodes in this season. Yes, that kind of became the standard, didn't it? And pretty much they're pretty much all decent ones. There's a couple I'm not a huge fan of, but there's no terrible ones really. Although I will moan about some of them every now and again. Right, so let's get on with it, shall we? We'll begin. Remember last season we ended off with Time's Arrow Part 1, where it seemed like they went through some time portal. Data went back in time to 19th century Earth. I can't remember where it was. San Diego, San Francisco. Can't remember. I think it was in San Francisco, wasn't it? In the 19th century, because they found Data's head under. There it is, under the Presidio. So there we go. Hang on, there we go. Last time on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Yes, they found Data's head. There it is. Been there for 300 years or 500 years or however long it was. I can't remember. 500 years, I think, hasn't it? We also know that Guinan were on Earth in the 19th century, having parties with Mark Twain, Samuel Clements, being played really annoyingly by... Oh, I forgot his bloody name. I can never remember his name. Jerry Harding played a super annoying character, possibly the most annoying character in all of Star Trek. Really got on my nerves in this, but anyway. Anyway, so Data's there by himself, and then the rest of the crew, they decide they're going to follow these aliens and go back in time. So there we go. So we're doing the recap. There they go. See, these aliens are what the aliens are doing. They've got a name. Can't remember what it is. They're basically draining the life force from people on Earth, and ingesting it. It's what they need to survive. Anyway, right. So we begin. We're in back in 19th century San Francisco. I don't know how much time's passed. There's Mark Twain, Clemens, however you want to call him. He's on the case because he's heard rumours of time travellers and stuff like that, and like I said, he's really annoying. But anyway, hang on, we saw the crew. Where are the crew of the Enterprise D? Where is it? Hang on, where are we? Skip recap. Come on, you bloody thing. Oh dear. Anyway, we see the crew of the Enterprise D. It seems they've been there for some time because they've already got board and lodgings, and they're pretending to be this travelling acting troupe. Because they're all actors, aren't they? So whatever. But anyway, so that's what they're doing, and they're disguised in local timely clothes, obviously, not letting anybody on from the future, but they're investigating these deaths. And they're investigating that and all that stuff. The bellboy we learn is Jack London. There he is. Oh, you can see him there in the thumbnail. There he is. We learn that's Jack London, who wrote lots of stuff about Alaska, didn't he? I can't really remember now. I've forgotten. Stuff like White Fang. Was that a Jack London one? Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. It's not the best episode, to be honest. There's Data driving a carriage to rescue his crew. So there we go. The meet up with Guinan. Obviously, Guinan doesn't know Picard. Picard knows Guinan, and I don't. It's weird that the thing with Guinan, I don't understand, because they ended up making that Picard and Guinan had this strong bond that goes beyond family and, I don't know, beyond love. I don't know what it goes beyond, but I don't get it, because in season 2, I think it was season 2, we're told that Picard hadn't met her or didn't know her before she joined the Enterprise, but then they retroactively changed that further down. So anyway, whatever. Anyway, they all end up under these caverns, and Guinan gets hurt, and they end up going back to the 24th century. Matt Clemens goes with them, being really annoying again. His voice does my head in. It really does. I'm going to play a bit. His voice is just, it goes right through you.
Conquest is a way of life?
Really annoying. Conquest is a way of life. Ugh, hate him. But his books are fun. Anyway. And to stick Data's old head. Data gets blown up in this accident in below the Presidio, and that's how his head were there. But they've taken his body back to the future, left his head there, and so they stick the 500-year-old head on. So obviously Data's made of good stuff. His stuff lasts 500 years. So his head's 500 years older than the rest of his body. But anyway, never mind. But he's fine, and anyway, basically they end up just destroying these aliens when they get Captain Picard back. Oh, he doesn't make it back at first. But he sends a signal, that's it. He programs Data's head. And so they're able to get him back. And then they fire photon torpedoes. They send Clemens back. And then they send photon torpedoes down. And basically destroy these aliens. They could be the last of their species for all we know. So much for Federation tolerance, Never mind. And there we go. And that's it. And everything's lovely. They're all laughing and smiling at the end. Hurrah! Except Data's head's 500 years older than the rest of him. But never mind. It's not the best. It's probably the worst of the... TNG... season enders and beginners, cliffhangers, whatever. It'd have been better as a mid-season one. They should have had... we've got... I don't know. We've got another 2-part of this season, haven't we? Birthright. That wouldn't have really worked either, really, would it? As a season ender. So, but they should have written something better, I suppose. But never mind. It's all right. It's not the worst ever, but it's probably the worst of the season climaxes and season openers. But fair. It's fair enough, I suppose. Moving on. Next up, Realm of Fear. I don't like this one either. And I usually like Barclay episodes. This is the Barclay Scared of the Transporter. Transporter Psychosis, he thinks he's got. Episodes. We're at this. Is this the same star from the season 3 opener, Evolution? Probably the same effect that they're using again, isn't it? But there you go. The looking for there we go. A Starfleet vessel. I can't remember what it's called, but the crew's disappeared. It's come trapped in some energy stream or whatever from the star, and they don't know what's happened to the crew. We learn that they're beaming the away team over. Barclay doesn't want to go because he's terrified of the transporters. He doesn't like transporting. He says, "You've no idea how much time I've spent in shuttlecraft." So he goes to talk to Deanna, who looks very tanned in season 6 for some reason. She's hit the tanning beds for season 6, it seems. Yes, it's Broccoli. Broccoli's back again. Hello, Windgrace. Anyway, so he's terrified of the transporters. He is the McCoy of this episode. They've got a good old. Is it a no birth class? Is it actually just a standard no birth class? Or have they done something with it for TNG? No, I think it's the same as what we've seen in other things, isn't it? Anyway, eventually beams over, and but then when he's in the transporter beam, he sees something moving about in the transporter beam with a mouth. I don't really understand it. When they explain it at the end, I don't really get it. But anyway, so so he's seen this object, something. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, there we go. When he's transporting. So another thing though, I know they've shown it in other Star Trek things, but I've always been led to believe that when you're being transported, you're kind of frozen in stasis for transport. Because I thought the transporter process basically froze every atom in your body during transport, so it remembers where they all are when it reintegrates you. But apparently not. I mean, we've seen them, like in Star Trek 2, we saw them talking in the when they were rematerialising, we heard them talking, didn't we, in the transporter beam. But they could have been speaking before the transported, and it just carried on when they reintegrated, if you know what I mean. But anyway, but apparently you can even move about in the transporter beam. I didn't think you could. I thought you'd be, supposed to be frozen in space, wouldn't you? Or like whatever, while you're being transported. But no, you can move about and do everything. Because this transport, by the way, takes longer than normal because of what's happening with the other ship. And he sees it there, just like a worm-like thing with a mouth, and I still don't get it. Spoilers, it turns out that what he's seeing in the transporter beam are the crew of the other ship. Is it the Vigo? I can't remember. I'm going to have to check. Where are we? Realm of Fear. Oh, I've pressed the wrong button. Never mind. Yosemite. Which were the Vigo then? I don't know. It's USS Yosemite. Where were we? It's the USS Yosemite, and it's the crew. They've done a Scotty in relics, which we're going to come to in a minute. They've done a Scotty in relics, and basically they're stuck in the transporter pattern. I don't get it where they are. It's as though this is for transporters. What the Star Trek Discovery turbo lifts were, that somehow there's a realm. I said they call it Realm of Fear. There's a place in transported heaven that everybody goes. I don't know. I don't get it. They don't really explain it. Not for a thickie like me, anyway. So that's what he's seen, but it's all distorted somehow. I don't know how they've been distorted into worms with mouths. I don't know, but anyway, one of them touches his arm, and it makes his arm go all fritzy. Yes, it's subspace, says Sweden Grace. That's the explanation. Anyway, but they all think he's imagining it, but it turns out he's not. And he grabs one. He goes to beam over again. It's also where we learn about plexing. Counsellor Troy's telling him to relax. Try plexing, where you just tap behind your ear, and we see her do it again later on at the end of the season. Anyway, but it's not working. Oh, we're going to see his arm. Is it this bit? There we go. Oh, for Pete's sake! Go on, show us his arm. There you go. You can see his arm there. It's all tingly, a bit like me. That's why I went to the doctors. My arm was like that. But without the blue glow. It's calmed down now, by the way. It went off by itself. Anyway, so it beams him over, and he says, I've seen, so he gets them all together, and he says, there's something in the transporter beam. So it's beaming over, and he grabs hold of whatever it is in there, because he kind of suspects, and it's going to show it in a minute. There we go. In a minute. Pete's sake. Tell you, Netflix. Terrible for reviewing this stuff. There he is. Look, there we go. How is that? How does this distorted view turn you into a giant worm with a mouth? I don't know, but he's grabbed it, and it's the crew from the Yosemite. That's what it is. There he goes. Grab one of them, and they've been. Luckily, it didn't merge them together in some weird fly Seth Brundle thing going on, but anyway. So I said there's others in there, so they've got to do the same, and the others are going to grab hold of them. The crew from the Yosemite. The Yosemite must have a really small crew. I don't know if it says how many crew, but you mean Yosemite? No, Yosemite. Because I'm not anti-Semitic. Anyway, we also learned that Chief O'Brien used to be terrified of spiders, but now he's got a pet one, which we never see again, I don't think. Did he take it to Deep Space Nine? I don't know. Anyway, never mind. So there we go. And that's the end of that. It's not the best. It's not terrible. Oh, is it? All right. That's how Trump pronounced it in the speech. If you did it, all right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, it's not the worst episode ever, and thanks to Dwight Schultz's performance as Barclay, he kind of saves it, I suppose. But it's not the best episode ever. It's a bit slight, I suppose, but whatever. It is what it is. And I still don't understand the science behind it. This is one of the worst for Star Trek science, even though they try to explain it with technobabble. It still doesn't work for me. But anyway. O'Brien's spider lives with his cat and his cello. That's true. Yes. He plays the cello, doesn't he? Does he have a cat as well? Can't remember that one. But anyway. Right, next up, Man of the People. Which one's this one? Is this the one with... Yes, yeah, alright. Don't like this one either. This is the fella that turns Deanna into a sex object sort of thing, doesn't it? I think it's this one. He got a cat in DS9 and he betrayed the Orion Syndicate guy. He took his cat. Did it? Alright, I can't remember that one. We'll get to that episode in time. Anyway, right, so which is this one? Yes, it is that one. This fella, the mediating, obviously there's always like two planets at war or whatever, and the Enterprise ends up having to ferry diplomats about, and he's this diplomat with his mother, who's a cantankerous old bag, and it turns out he's I'm not going to linger on this one. It turns out he's a bad guy, and he uses people. He's got some ability to, I don't know, do things with people to help him with his work, and he's a proper baddie, and he knows it's going to kill him. She's like, 25 years old or something like that, draining the life out of her. She ends up dying, and it does the same with Deanna. So anyway, there's wife doing his cat. I don't. A and B started. Look, he's kind of falling in love, but it's super gorgeous. She is. I just hate her. But anyway, so he changes Deanna, tanned Deanna. Season 6, super tanned Diane, as we'll see later. And like I said, we see her in sexy dresses and stuff. There we go later on. But anyway, she goes all horrible, turns into a baddie sort of. I think it puts all his evil or something into these other people or something. And they turn the tables on him at the end and kill him, basically. They do a lot of just killing people in Season 6. Killed all those poor aliens who were just going and... fair enough, they were murdering people. But people that were nearly dead anyway, like cholera wards and, drunk homeless people and stuff like that. Did they deserve to get photon torpedoed to death? I don't know, but that were then. And now they're just going to kill this fella because he got Deanna. And as you can see there, she's... where is she? Where the hell is she? She's getting old before her time. Come on, show us her. Look, she wants to stab... Oh, she does. She stabs Picard, look. But anyway. It's not landing up there, she is. Show us it. Oh, for Pete's sake. It never lands on the bit you want. There you go. She's gone old. That's what I'm trying to say. So there we go. Not bad old age makeup, I must admit. But anyway. So then they find some way to make her better again, to block his powers, and it ends up killing him. And he's found somebody else, and he's going to do it with her. But then they turn the tables and kill him, and it's a terrible episode, and I hate it. Yeah. So there we go. Season 6 kind of starts rekindling the Riker and Deanna romance, sort of. And she kind of throws it all away at the end of season 7, don't she, when she gets into a relationship with Worf, but never mind. But like I say, it shows them looking lovingly at each other in several episodes in this season. But anyway, that's Man of the People. It's rubbish. I don't like that episode. But moving on. Relics. Everybody likes Relics. Great episode. Perhaps the best of season 6, in my opinion. Yeah, it probably is, isn't it? Probably is. This is the one with Scotty, where they find the wreck of the USS Janolan on the surface of a Dyson sphere. That's not a new vacuum cleaner. That's a huge feat of stellar engineering. Was Relics for an anniversary year or anything? I don't know. Let's have a look. I don't know if it was, to be honest. It might have been. When did it come out? 1992. That's not really, is it? No, I don't think it is, because it was 66, wasn't it? So that's the 26th anniversary, isn't it? No, it's not an anniversary one. Not like Flashback or for Voyager, or Trials and Tribulations or for DS9. So I don't think this one either, was it? I don't think this one with Scotty. I don't think they did an anniversary one, did they, in TNG? I don't think they did anyway. Anyway, right, so they find this Dyson sphere, and there it is. It's like, it's as large as the orbit of the Earth around the Sun, so it's like 180 million miles across-ish. But they'll said it in kilometres, wouldn't they? So it'll be like 300 million kilometres across, or something. And all that surface area, and they find the little tiny USS Janolan, which is like I don't know what class of ship it is, I can't remember, but it's not a big one. There you go, the Janolan. They said Janolan, whatever, Janolan. And they beam down to it, and they see that there's a pattern in the transporter buffer. So they basically beam out whoever's in there, and it turns out it's Scotty. That's what they're going to do now. And Netflix tells, here he is, and Scotty, in good old-fashioned, TOS transporter effect, you'd have thought it'd have been a movie one, wouldn't you, from the Star Trek movies, the bright lights and stuff. So why did they do the TOS transport? Oh, yes, Unification, yes, Unification was, wasn't it, a 25th anniversary one? Yes, it was, yes. I stand corrected, and we did that last time, didn't we? And I probably mentioned it, didn't I? I probably mentioned it then. What am I like? But anyway, why did they use the TOS transporter effect for this? I don't know. When it should have been a movie era transporter effect. They're always changing the transporters, aren't they? For some reason. Voyager's transporters weren't the irregular TNG transporters, were they? They changed them. And obviously they changed them on DS9 mostly, particularly the DS9 transporters, because they were Cardassian ones, weren't they? So, but anyway, always faffing with the transporters there. Anyway, it's Scotty, Captain Montgomery Scott, there he is, who were on the Janolan, heading for retirement on the Norpen 3 colony or whatever. So it's obviously set some time after Star Trek 6. Did he take his boat with him? I don't know, because he just bought one, hadn't he? But he says, we've got to get Franklin out of there. But Franklin's pattern had deteriorated because Scott is a big fat git, and he took up all the transporter power because he's been in there for 70-odd years. Oh, dear. Anyway, so there we go. Skip intro. So this episode basically is, let's say, Scotty, a man out of time, and Geordie being a bit of an arsehole. He is no patience for Scotty at all. He starts off being all nice, but Scotty's all excited about being on a futuristic starship and looking at everything and pressing buttons and basically, but he does get in the way, but Geordie gets very abrupt with him. But anyway. So let's say he's a man out of time. He's feeling, left out, and Picard wants him to feel useful again. And so anyway, this is the Data. No, Guinan's not on duty this episode. Data's been a barman, and gives him something. He doesn't like synthahol or synthaholic beverages, does Scotty. So Data says Guinan does have a stock of non-synthaholic beverages. So he gives him some Aldebaran whiskey. I think it's Aldebaran whiskey. But he doesn't know what it is. He just says it's green, which is a throwback to, can't remember the episode, but it's the one where Scotty and some other fella are getting drunk. I think it's that one. Them from Andromeda. He gets him drunk, doesn't he? I can't remember. Blink of an eye, wink of an eye. I can't remember the name of the episode. Yes, synthetic Scotch and synthetic commanders, because he's, what's the word? Can't remember. But anyway, he's old. He's been racist against androids, isn't he? That's basically. He's old. He's allowed to be. So then he goes to the holodeck and creates. This is the famous. Show me the bridge of the Enterprise, and there have been 5 starships called Enterprise, which wasn't right. But anyway, this way it says NCC 1701. No bloody A, B, C, I can't roll my R's, D. Anyway. He watched Kirk talk enough of them to death. Yes, he did. So anyway, so it goes into a brilliantly recreated, TOS era bridge. Really good. And Picard comes in and gives him a talk, and so this is where Picard realises he wants to feel useful, so he says to Geordie, have Mr. Scott help you sort out the things on the Genolan, and he says, all right then. Don't make it an order. I think is this the first time we see Lieutenant Ensign Rager? There she is. Lanny Chapman. She's been in quite a few things, but I remember her as being, I think it's Ensign Rager in Star Trek. She's also in Space Above and Beyond, wasn't she? There's been loads of other stuff as well. Anyway, while they're on the Genolan, Scotty and Geordie fiddling with that ship, the Enterprise decides to go exploring the Dyson Sphere and finds a way in. They get pulled inside by automatic tractor beams. They get stuck inside the I'm trying to find a bloody image of it. They get stuck inside. There we go. They get stuck inside the Dyson Sphere. We get a nice view of the inside of the Dyson Sphere. I'm trying to find it. Bit like Halo, but bigger. Here they are. Here they are. There. Oh, are they inside now? Showers. There we go. Cool, innit? The interior surface is like, a world, but it's got the surface area of, I don't know, 100 million, Earth-sized planets or something. But anyway, the Enterprise is being pulled inside with tractor beams, and all the systems have shut down and all that, so they can't stop. And they're falling into the sun. Oh no! And then suddenly they're not anymore. They fix everything and they're fine. Anyway, meanwhile, the Scotty and Geordie realise they can't get in touch with the Enterprise because they wanted something off the Enterprise to make the Genolan work, but they got it working anyway. So he tries to contact the Enterprise and can't get in touch with him. So I thought something had gone wrong with my TV then. Can't get in touch with them, so they think, they've been pulled inside, but they get the Genolan working anyway, and they open. There we go. They get. Oh, for Pete's sake, where is it? Where are you? There it is. They get the Dyson Sphere to open its hatch, but they stay far enough away so they don't get grabbed by the tractor beams. And then they use the Genolan shields to hold open the hatch. We're going to see it now. There it is. Come on then. Show us. There you go. Like that. There we go. To hold open the hatch until the Enterprise arrives, and they say, hang on. We never see this hatch shut in Star Trek ever again. Is that... Are you being sarcastic? We've seen it lots of times. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm like? I have no memory. I'm like a goldfish. They're holding it open and they say, come on, Captain Picard, we're over here. We're holding it open. But you'll have to destroy us. Did Voyager do it? Oh, right, fair enough. You'd have to destroy us. But then somehow, I don't know how, as the Enterprise is barreling towards them, at super high speed, they can beam them out. How do they beam them out? They've got the shields up. But they do. We forget that. But they don't explain. They don't matter. They beam them out just in time and then fire photon torpedoes. So obviously the shields are strong enough to keep a hatch open, but not strong enough to, deflect against photon torpedoes. But never mind. But they beam them out and... everything's lovely. Here we go. Hang on. Come on. There they go. They make it out just in time. Whew, cool shot. So there we go. And to thank Scotty. Oh, here is Geordie telling him all about the galaxy's child and all that stuff. Fire a photon torpedo burned into my brain from old Star Trek handheld game. I have no idea. I have no idea. Just tell them all about that. Anyway, to thank him, they're going to give him a shuttle. And I forgot which shuttle it is. The Goddard, obviously named after the fellow that... I forgot his bloody name now. The father of American rocketry, wasn't it? I forgot his first name now. But anyway, there's the Goddard Space Centre, isn't there? But anyway. They give him a shuttle. As I said, can I have a runabout? Because they're cool. I like runabouts. I want a runabout my own. At least they've given him a good shuttle, not one of them crappy little ones that's more or less a work bee. They give him a decent shuttle, haven't they? Is it a Type C? I think it's a Type C, isn't it? They've given him that, and saying, go away. Not just dropping him off at a starbase or whatever. Sod off. We don't want it on the ship anymore. Whatever happened to him? I don't know. Windgrace are going to tell me now that they've done comics and books about him. But anyway. So off he goes. There we go. Go to the next episode. Hang on. Where are we? So that's Relics. A good episode. Probably my favourite of the season because of Scotty. Even though Geordie's a bit of a knob in it. But, they're fine by the end. A good episode. A really, really good one. Right, what's the next one? I forgot this one. Schisms, another one that I really like as well, because it's kind of a UFO episode, isn't it? It's alien abduction Star Trek. This is another good one. I've mentioned this before, but there's a book where he's part of a time display. Oh, I think you have mentioned it, haven't you? Yes, I think you have mentioned that. As I said, I'm a goldfish. I have no memory. I've no memory recall. The memories are in there, but I can never remember them. Unless I'm reminded. He also went on to design all sorts of crap in the Starfleet Corps of Engineers. There were a series of books, weren't there, about... I think it was about Starfleet Corps of something like that. A series of short novellas and stuff. Remember I've mentioned my old Kindle, Kindle Paperwhite, or whatever they call them. Paperlight, I can't remember what they call them. But I don't know where it is. It might be in this drawer here that I can't open. I've just opened it. It might be in there. I've got loads of Star Trek books on there. If I could find the bugger. Anyway. Where were we? Schisms. Right, Schisms. This is where aliens from subspace abducting members of the Enterprise crew and subjecting them to, surgical procedures and stuff like that. It's one where Riker... You can tell he's not sleeping well because he doesn't comb his hair after he's not slept well for some reason. Anyway, so he's not sleeping well. He's having like he thinks he's having a full night's sleep, but he's always tired when he wakes up. He's like, as soon as his head hits the pillow, it's morning. So he's not doing well. And this is the ode to Spot as well, where Riker's falling asleep in it. Suddenly she's the star of the episode, though we'd never seen her before. Maybe we'll never see her again. I don't know. I can't remember. Win Grace is going to tell me how wrong I am. She looks like she's from a Godzilla movie. I'm sorry, she just does. She looks like one of the little, in Mothra, one of those little women that summon Mothra. She looks like one of them. Sorry, she does. Anyway. Star Trek designers, in any episode where Riker's having mental breaks, mess up his hair. Yes, it is, yes. We're going to have another one of them in a bit, aren't we? Anyway, so he's doing his ode to Spot. Felis catus, your taxonomic nomenclature, an endothermic quadruped, carnivorous by nature. That's the only bit I remember. Doing that. Which I think is really, really good. It's really clever. I love ode to Spot. It's good writing. And Riker's falling asleep and snoring. And all that stuff, and it's very amusing. But anyway, Beverly gives him the recipe for hot milk with nutmeg in. Hang on, where are we? Data's asking Geordie about his poetry. Geordie an expert in poetry, and he's saying, it's crap, it's clever, but crap. I thought, shut up, it's good, shut up. Everybody's a critic, aren't they? But anyway, let's see. Look, he's fed up. He's fed up, his Will. And he goes to bed again. And he says to Geordie, wake me up. Come and knock me up, so to speak. Because I'm having trouble getting up. And as soon as he hits the pillar, the door, the bell goes. And anyway. So it's happened again. Mott is here. Yes, Mr. Mott. We see him here. He's about to cut Worf's hair. There he is. This where Worf has some sort of weird thing with the scissors. And so there we go. And he stops it. They find something weird going on in this cargo bay. And we learn, I think, is this one we learn that Data's disappeared off the ship for a certain amount of time. So various people from the crew are getting taken and brought back. There's Ensign Rhaegar again. Riker has an episode. They keep seeing things. It's reminding them of what's happened to them. So it's they should just put them under hypnosis, shouldn't they? Do a Bud Hopkins and put them under hypnosis, and they'd remember everything. But there we're seeing that there's something weird going on. It's not bloody landing on it. There we go. Up there. It's something to do with subspace, it turns out. That's where these aliens are coming from. So they're going to there we go. They're going to the holodeck. All these people that have had these weird reactions to things, and turns out they've been abducted, and like I said, being put on the table with a light and clicking in the background. It is kind of spooky and creepy, and all that stuff. And so they find a way to make it so that Riker won't be made unconscious when he's abducted again. So they take him to the aliens. He's got a phaser with him. There we go. And we see that they've got a name. Again, I can't remember them. The name of these aliens, but they're from subspace. They live in the subspace realm or whatever, another realm. And hang on, never mind. Sorry, things covering my screen up again. So Riker goes around shooting them. I don't know if he kills any of them, but he rescues Ensign Rhaegar. She's there, and they get them back. And it's another one that's left on a bit of a cliffhanger. Because something goes flying off into space. Something does it? Is it that one? Yes, there it goes. Something comes out of subspace and flies off into space. Do we ever see him again? I don't know. I think we saw him in a comic. I think I could be wrong. I really like these alien designs. Most people think they look like crap. I found out. No, I think they're quite cool, aren't they? Let's go back and have a look at them. If it'll land on them. If it'll land on one of them, probably not gonna. Probably not going to. Have a look. Come on, Netflix. Pardon me. Show us. Right, see if this shows one of them. It's not good, is it? It's not gonna. Never mind. I tell you, Netflix is terrible for precise, navigation. Never mind. But they're kind of cool looking anyway. I really thought they were involved in Picard Season 3 from the early trailers. Yeah, why not? Why not indeed? Why not indeed? They should have been, instead of them being, changelings. That's it. Picard Season 3 were good, but it wasn't as good as some people made it out to be. Anyway, so they foil the plans of these subspace aliens, and let's say something emerges from the subspace thing before they close it and disappears, off into space, but we never see him again. Not in TNG, not on screen, but I think they were in either a comic or a novel. I remember seeing about it, but I didn't read it. But I remember seeing an advert for it or something. But anyway, it's a good Schisms. I like it. So there we go. Another one of my favourites. So we're doing well, apart from the first two. But the next two were good ones. What's next? Can't remember. True Q. This one's fun. This is with Olivia Darbo, who I think I said in the previous show we did. I think I said she was Mariam Darbo's sister. She's not. She's a cousin. So I got that wrong. In Old Trek magazine, I have it from it aired, Berman said they would be back. Well, they weren't, were they? They weren't. And they should have been, because they were good. Anyway, here we are at Tagra 4. This one is one where they've an ecological disaster or something like that. Is it that one? Is it this one where they can't breathe? I think it is, isn't it? Really bad pollution. They've all got asthma. They're all walking about with inhalers. I think it's that one, isn't it? But anyway, young, whatever, I can't remember her name. Amanda. So is it Amanda? I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I can't remember her name. Yes, all right. Amanda Rogers. I should have remembered that, shouldn't I? Amanda Rogers she's won like, I don't know, like a scholarship sort of thing, or she's won a visit to the Enterprise because she's so clever. But it turns out the upshot of this episode is she's the daughter of 2Q who posed as humans, so she's human, but she's also Q, whatever. And John Delancey Q appears. Because it learns that she can make things appear because she's, a Q now. She makes puppies appear. No, she just made them disappear there. Never mind. There you go. Loads of puppies appear, and she makes them go away. But she doesn't do that like Q does. She goes like weird thing like that. I don't know why, but she just does. So we know that there's something weird about her. Anyway, they've got to do this science stuff. She's helping Beverly Crusher with science things. For Tagra, and that's it. Q appears. There he is. He there? Looks like they're looking at Q there. There he is. You'd think he'd appear as in an admiral's uniform, wouldn't you? Or does it just appear as a captain just to mock Picard? Maybe he does. I don't know. But so it's telling that she's Q. Her parents were killed in an accident. Well, in a tornado. Destroyed their house when she were little, and so they're saying now, find it odd that tornadoes in the weather modification net wouldn't allow a tornado to form in Kansas at that time or whatever, and turns out the Q continuum assassinated her parents. But anyway, he's saying she's Q, she's got to go back to the continuum. She says, I don't want to go back, I want to stay as a human and bonk Riker, because that's what she wants. She's in love with Riker. But anyway, she gets Q helps her with some science thing for Beverly, but does it all wrong because she does it the Q way. And Beverly says, I needed it to be done my way. We're going to have to start all over again. And so Q turns her into a dog, which is amusing. They're going to do it now. There you go. Turns her into a dog. Without her realising. Look, she turns her back. Did she ever tell you? I wonder if she ever told Beverly. By the way, Q turned you into a dog. Did she ever know? I don't know. But anyway. At least we got Riker in a tux here. Well, he was like some weird, like, late 18th century get-up, wasn't he? Or early 19th century thing. Yeah, because she starts using her powers a bit more selfishly. Because Q's a bad influence, isn't he? But anyway. There we go. There he is in his what they call them now, stovepipe hat or something like that, isn't it? And she makes Riker fall in love with her. So is he in love with her now forever, or does she take away that thing? I don't know, but she decides she's going to go with Q, but she wants to go home first and all that. Talk to her human family or whatever. I don't know. So off she goes with Q. Oh, and she fixes Tagrafor, fixes their atmosphere. So there you go. And yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's a whatever. Yes, look at me. I'm the Imzadi now. But anywho, so off she goes, and she becomes a Q, and the episode ends. It's okay. I don't mind it. All the Q episodes are fun because it's John Delancey steals the show all the time. And yeah, it's okay. Moving on. That's all I can say about it. It's okay. It's OQ. Whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. Next. What's next? Rascals. I don't hate this episode because it's got quite an interesting premise. It's just I hate kids. I just hate the kid. I don't hate him. The one this is the one where some weird transporter accident transforms Picard and Guinan and Ensign Rowe and Keiko O'Brien. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? Maybe another one, I can't remember. Turns them into kids. Yeah, there's and Keiko. Yeah, it's just them, isn't it? It turns them into kids, into children. Somehow, and I'm going to show it. Oh, for Pete's sake. There they are. And the one playing Captain Picard, who I think is the same kid that played his nephew in Family, is just so annoying. It just does me head in. But anyway. Such a weird away team in general, but I dig it. There was a reason. They've been somewhere, haven't they, for something in the shuttle. Captain Picard does a bit of shuttle travel in this season, doesn't he? Well, at least twice. Once in a runabout. But anyway. I want a runabout. Runabouts are cool. Why didn't we see them before season 6? Because they were designed for Deep Space Nine, weren't they? But never mind. Anyway. So anyway, they've got to sort this out. It kind of gets a bit awkward later on in the episode because now Miles is married to a 12-year-old girl. The only one that's fine about it is Guinan, because, whatever, she's all right with it. Ensign Rowe, she doesn't like, because she's serious and she wants to get back on duty and stuff like that. And this ensign here, we see her a few times, and is she famous? I've got the feeling that she's famous, but I don't know if she is or not. One of these guest people that they have. Is she a singer or something? I don't know. Maybe she isn't, but she just seems she stands out for some reason. But I don't know if it. Let's see if she's in the guest stars thing. Rascals. Let's have a look. I don't know if it is or not, but Ensign. They're going to show her. No, it isn't. Not in there anyway. I have no idea. Has it got an IMDb page? Yes, it has. Let's have a look at that. Oh, pardon me. By the way, this was directed by Adam Nimoy, Leonard Nimoy's son, who would go on to marry. I think he's still married to her, isn't he? Terry Farrell, wasn't he? Anyway. Where were we? that ensign. Is it showing? No, it's not bloody showing. I've looking all cast and crew. She's not even got a. Oh, there we go. Starfleet ensign. I'm guessing that's who they're on about. Maybe, I don't know. There's a few. There's a few that says ensign. I don't know which one it is. Lena Banks, Tracy Coco, Debbie David, Christy Hayden. It could be any of them. I have no idea which one it is. I have no idea. So maybe she isn't famous. Wingrace is probably screaming at me. There we go. He says, who is better, Lil Picard or Lil... Yes, another one. Or Lil Jack O'Neill. You know what? I'd say I'm Captain Picard. He's better because the kid that played young Jack O'Neill really got on my nerves. I don't like these sorts of episodes. I didn't like that one in Stargate either. When we got young Jack O'Neill. They grind my gears, as Peter Griffin would say. Anyway, I like. I do something about it. I think she's nice. Anyway, whatever. So they've got to find a way to sort it out. The ship gets taken over by Ferengi, as far as I know, somehow. Quite easily. Because some Ferengi have got hold of a couple of Klingon birds of prey. There's tanned Deanna again. Her hair's looking a bit mad this week, isn't it? Anyway. So the Ferengi take over the Enterprise. And there they are. Look, there they are. Cool shot of them shooting at them. That's it. They bought some surplus Klingon birds of prey. Look. Worf being rubbish there, missing and getting him instantly shot. Anyway, the kids save the day because they can crawl through things, and that's they foil the plans of the Ferengi, and then they realise that they can fix them in the transporter. Blah blah blah, and they're all sorted and back to normal, except for Ensign Rose. She wants to stay being a kid for a little while longer. Because Guinan says the transporter room will still be there, but Chief O'Brien's there waiting. He's got the transporter reconfigured and everything, so they can't wait forever, can they? What if somebody else wants to use that transporter room? I know there are others, but never mind. That's not the point. She's being selfish. Go back to being Michelle Forbes again. Anyway, whatever. Not my favourite episode. It's not the worst, but it's not my favourite. Moving on. A Fistful of Dates. Another one that I thought I wasn't a fan of, and I haven't seen it for a long time, and I watched it, obviously, in preparation for this. I actually really enjoyed it. So there we go. 10 out of 10, no notes. Oh, you're on the Is that what you're saying about Rascals? 10 out of 10, no notes. By the way, over on Twitch, governmental outlay says best viewers on streamboo.com. Remove the space. Thank you, governmental outlay. Over on Twitch. Unbelievable. No live chat on Rumble, obviously, because there never is. Have I done something wrong there? I think I haven't. What have I done? Anywho, whatever. Right. Right, Fistful of Daters. This is the one that got some downtime for whatever reason. So everybody's got a day off. I'm sure that's not the case, but I don't know. The what they call them? The senior staff. That's it. The senior staff apparently have got the day off. So they must have all the lower deckers just taking over, running the ship. Picard's practicing his flute, which we'll see again this season in quite a nice episode later on. That's a sequel to that one where he lives his entire life in his head in 25 minutes. I'm blanking. That one. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, so he's practicing his flute, and people keep interrupting him, and blah blah blah. We learn that Worf, she's always wanting to get people acting, is Beverly, isn't she? This season she's still doing the bloody acting. She ropes Riker in later on. Worf wants to do drills and stuff like that. He says, Worf, you got the day off. Go to the holodeck with your sons. That's what he's going to do. So he says, saddle up, father. The inner light. That's it. Yes, the inner light. Winggrace with his with his clues. He's not just tell me. He's got to make me work it out. Yes, the inner light. I was blanking. I tell you, there's something wrong with me. I've got bloody Alzheimer's or something. I have. So there we go. Saddle up, father. There we go. Puts him a cowboy hat on. They're heading to the holodeck. Always reminds me of that Red Dwarf episode. It's another one that I'm not a fan of either. Horsemen of the Apocalypse or something like that. That one where they're in a western town. Is it like that in normal life or just when you're on cam? It depends. It depends. I do forget a lot. As soon as I turn the cameras on, my mind goes blank. But I generally do have bad recall, unless I'm reminded like you just did then. But anyway, I think I've got, like on a disc or whatever, or in the hard drive, you've got like a table of contents. I think mine's messed up for my memory. Anyway, where were we? You'll get there when you get to my age. It'll happen with you, probably, maybe. Anyway, right, so here we are. They're in Westworld, sort of, and where are we? There they are. And Worf's the sheriff, and Alexander's his deputy. So they've got to clean up the town, etc. Meanwhile, Data's having his head opened up. I can't remember why. Oh, yes. Pardon me. They're wanting to see if they can plug data into the Enterprise and make the Enterprise work in case of a disaster. In case the main computer goes down, so that basic functions of the ship can continue through data. It's probably a follow-on from what happened in the episode last season, that disaster episode. Remember the Riker took Data's head off and plugged him into engineering, and he controlled the ship. So it's kind of a sequel to that, innit? I do remember some stuff. Winger says there's probably a relation to the quantum observer effect as to why we can't access the universal data when on camera. Or I just go blank. It's probably nerves, to be honest, because I just wing it, don't I? Anyway, where were we? Oh, yes, that's it. Yeah, the plug-in data and see if it can operate the ship's systems, and he ends up, something goes wrong, and he ends up basically injecting himself into the holodeck, and they can't turn off the holodeck, and it all goes wrong, and the holodeck safeties are not working anymore. So we end up with lots of datas on the holodeck. And we also have Deanna is on the holodeck as well as Durango. She does look very tasty, I must admit. If we can see it, I'm going to show her. No, it might be in a bit. He says they've got a fella in jail, and go on, show us Deanna. There she is, she's about to F off, Worf. That's what she's about to say. Oh no, $500 is what she's saying. But she does look mighty fine in a cowboy hat. Anyway. So they've got... they've put this fella in jail who's the son of some gangster or whatever, I don't know. Some Wild West bad guy. Who it turns out is going to be Data, then he's going to turn into... All the characters basically are going to turn into Data, even the women, later on. See that she's roped Riker into the acting and stuff, and he even does the when he begins. But anyway, so they get stuck in the holodeck because of what he's doing because Data's plugged into the Enterprise. Something's gone wrong. There's a power surge, whatever. Stop playing. There we go. power surge or whatever, and so they've got to sort that out. But the safeties are also off, and sorry, I want to look at Deanna again, looking sexy. There she is. Still don't like her, but I won't say no. I probably would, to be honest. I wouldn't know what to do with her. She'd eat me alive. Anyway, whatever. So they've got to defeat this fella. There you go. They built a force field around WAF. Look, hey, this is the version. This is like Marty McFly or Clint Eastwood putting, or Ned Kelly putting iron plates around themselves. Who's Ned Kelly, you ask? He's an Australian fella. So they defeat all these datas. Like I say, it's all mildly amusing. Data's even a floozy. It looks terrible, doesn't it? But anyway. You know, it's all about father and son having some quality time, and he's putting the cowboy hat on again. Probably some cowboy music playing, I imagine. There we go. So there we go. Yeah, it's okay. I thought I didn't like this episode, but on watching it again, I thought I had a lot of fun with it, I must admit, and it is a fun episode. And it's nice to see Worf doing some, you know, everybody thinks the funny Worf things are just the I am not a merry man and stuff like that. But it does have some funny one-liners in this. So there we go. An okay episode. I didn't mind it. Shush. So next up, the quality of life. Which is this one? Can't remember. Just remind me. Playing poker. Quality of life. Can't remember. Let's have a look. Quality of life. Oh yes, this is Peanut Hamper, innit? Windgrace, this is Peanut Hamper. The little robots. I forgot what they call them. What does it say? What they call them? It doesn't say there. Hang on. I'll have to open it up. Exacomps, that's it, the exacomps. This is that one. Yes, see, screaming. As he's typing it, he's screaming it at the screen, his Windgrace. Exaccomp! That's what he's doing. Yes, they go to this station. There it is. It's some sort of mining station. It's firing a beam down at the planet where it's supposed to be transporting or whatever, I don't know, but minerals or whatever from the planet. It's like this experimental thing, but they're behind schedule. But Geordie's trying to grow a beard. And it turns out they've got these, like I said, this scientist who we just saw briefly there has designed these exacomps to do, these tasks where they can't get people to. And it turns out that they've become sentient. Data kind of fights the good fight for them, and whatever. A dangerous, there's a thing happens where I think it's Picard and somebody else, I think Geordie, end up trapped on the station. It's in peril of blowing up or whatever. So they send the exacomps. Something happens anyway. They're going to send the exacomps to their doom, and Data says, "No, you can't do that because they're sentient and they should have the right to choose." And she's like, "No, I created them. I know what they can do." But obviously, Picard thinks, "Oh well, I can't be a hypocrite, because we've got Data here, and I fought a legal battle to give him the right to choose. So I suppose I better do the same thing with these." So that's what they do, and they do choose to help and show that they're clever and intelligent, and they save the day. But one sacrifices itself to save the others, and it's all sad. And one becomes one becomes a semi-regular, I suppose, on Star Trek Lower Decks, called Peanut Hamper. So there we go. Yeah, it's an okay episode. It's fine. But, it's a bit of a filler. I must admit, it is a bit of a filler. But there we go. But it's nice to see Data fighting the good fight for his own, because he feels empathy towards them because they're artificial life forms, just as he is. Next. Chain of Command Part 1. Now then, this is this is probably the serious one, isn't it, this one? This is the one where, oh, look, she's here. Look, is this the first time we meet Vice Admiral Nechayev? I think it might be. One of the most hated admirals in Star Trek. For some reason, she doesn't like Picard. I don't know why. But she never gets on with him. She's very argumentative and brusque. But anyway. Yay, Troy can dress better now. Yes, and this is the episode where Troy is ordered to wear not dress uniforms, but standard uniforms rather than cleavage stuff. So this is, from now on, no more Troy cleavage, unfortunately, but never mind. Right, where were we? Oh, yes. Vice Admiral Nechayev's coming on board. Oh, I've only seen her in this and one other thing. She was in an episode of Dark Skies. Remember that series about UFOs and stuff? She was in an episode of that. She played like this new age psychic woman. And she looked really pretty in that. But anyway, she's arrived on, I think, the USS Crazy Horse. Obviously named after the Native American chief. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm just guessing that. And yes, there she is, being all bossy, as usual, and ordering that Picard is being reassigned and somebody else is taking over the Enterprise. And we learn that Captain Edward Jellicoe is taking over as captain of the Enterprise because Picard's going on a mission. Was she in Christmas Vacation? Oh, right, I missed that one. I've seen it, obviously, but I didn't notice her. I will next Christmas. I'll keep an eye out for her. Where were we? Picard and Worf and Beverly Crusher, they're going on a top secret mission into Cardassian space. So there we go. And the Enterprise has got to go and talk to some Cardassians, and Captain Jellicoe is going to be in command. And Riker's saying, I can do it. She's saying, no, we need a captain who's dealt with the Cardassians before. So Ronnie Cox is going to enter stage left. All right. She was in a movie, also in a movie called Pizza My Heart. That sounds like, Oscar-winning stuff, doesn't it? Anyway, hang on, where is he? There he is. There's Captain Edward Jellicoe, the great Ronnie Cox. Who people, don't like Captain Jellicoe. Riker doesn't like him because he says he's a bad captain. But he's not. He's just a different sort of captain to what he's used to. And I think he does a good job on the Enterprise. Do they stick to his 4-shift rotation? That's what I want to know. Or do they go back to the 3-shift one when Picard takes back over again? Spoilers. I don't know. But Picard's thing is make it so. Jellicoe's is get it done. So there we go. So they're handing over they're doing the handover to Jellicoe. Anyway, that's it. We'll be here all night. If I go into detail, we'll be here all bloody night, won't we? Cleavage outfit. It's not going to be in that for much longer. Oh, I see where he probably tells her, dress uniform from now on. Says, okay. So they're off on their mission to find this Cardassian base that's dealing with some banned substance. Metagenic weapon that they think the Cardassians are building that has been outlawed by every civilization or whatever. It wasn't. I'm going to say, was Shinzon's ship a metagenic thing, but it wasn't what it was a Thorian, Thor or something like that. They were different, wasn't it? Similar but different. So they're going to destroy that. That's what their mission is. And they're going to talk to this Ferengi chap, and he's going to get them to that planet because he goes there. Beverly convinces him by doing a bit of Umax. Anyway, they end up there, but they get captured. Beverly and Worf are sent back. No, they're not sent back. Beverly and Worf escape, don't they? Picard gets captured by the Cardassians. What happened to the fish? Because he says to Riker, get that fish out of the ready room. So what happened to Livingston? Who looked after Livingston until Picard came back? I don't know. But anyway. Is his son on the ship as well, by the way? Sorry, just mentioning it. Go back again. Where are you? There we are. He's got pictures that he says his son's drawn him. And so is his family on this ship? I don't know. But he's in the ready room. He's got pictures that his son's drawn. Did Livingston go to cetacean ops? Just plopped him in there, did they, with the dolphins or whatever the hell's in there. I hate cetacean ops. It does me head in. Anyway, where were we? So, right, they're going to get captured. Blah blah blah. They're dealing with Jellicoe's dealing with these Cardassians, being all belligerent with them and all that stuff. Picard gets captured. And ends up at the mercy of David Warner. There he is, as Gul Macet. Is it Gul Macet? I think it is, isn't it? David Warner, who's been in Star Trek a few times. He played Gorkon in Star Trek 6. He played St. Talbot in Star Trek 5. Just checking. Is it Gul Macet? Gul Madred. There we go. We're close. Proper Cardassian uniforms. Actually, before this, they redesigned it, didn't they? Probably for Deep Space Nine, didn't they? Because they knew we were going to see more Cardassians in Deep Space Nine. So they probably thought, better give them better uniforms than the clunky, horrible things that we'd seen them in before. So better stuff now. Proper ones. Gul Macet was a lame-o, right. An easy mistake. It's Gul Madred. So he's a prisoner of Gul Madred. There we go. So it ends there. And then we go on to the next part. This is how many lights do you see? And he says there are 4 lights. No, there's 5 lights. And this way, I see 4 lights. And the torturing Picard and all that stuff. There we saw Deanna in a proper uniform. Look, there she is. There she is. She was. Go back a bit. There we go. Whatever. In a proper uniform. With her pips. She has a Lieutenant Commander pips on. Anyway, so they're going to start torturing Picard. They've implanted him with a pain device. And they strip him naked. Because Patrick Stewart can't wait to get naked and stuff, can he? If he's given an opportunity. Because he's got good genetics, hasn't he? Makes me bloody sick. Anyway, I bet he's one of these people, Patrick Stewart, that can eat whatever he wants and never put weight on and always, be in shape. But does me bloody head in. Anyway, turns out the Cardassians are up to no good. They're building a fleet or something. They've got a fleet hiding in a nebula or whatever. So Jellicoe's going to sort that out. Meanwhile, Picard's being tortured. He's got to eat live Gaspar eggs and all that stuff. He's tortured. There are 4 lights and all that jazz. Jellicoe and Riker almost come to blows or whatever. Riker gets relieved of duty, but they need him to fly through this nebula or whatever. To fly a shuttle in or to get scans to find this fleet of Cardassian ships, so they do that. And so they foil them and they release Picard. Jellicoe gets Picard out. He says, I understand you're holding a Federation captain. I want him back unharmed. So they do that. So they get him back and Picard comes back and just takes over the ship again. And everything's lovely. And then he's saying to Deanna, not looking well, look. Says Deanna, there were 4 lights, but in the end I did see 5 lights. But he's that stubborn, he didn't tell him. So there we go. And that's that. That's it. A good episode that I think won a bucket load of awards, probably. Let's have a look. I think it probably did. Let's have a look. Does it say? I think I could have swore it did. I'm sure I'd seen it somewhere that it won awards. Reception. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe it didn't. I thought I'd read somewhere that it won, I don't know, a Saturn Award or something like that. But it doesn't say anything on Wikipedia. Not that I can. Nothing that's standing out. So there we go. So I'm wrong again. Never mind. But it's a good episode. Like I said, probably it's the serious one of season 6, isn't it? Tangent time. Who have you met from TNG? All right, I've got to think now. Well, I've met Gates McFadden because she doesn't shake hands at conferences. She fist bumps with a little bottle of hand cleaner. I'm trying to think now who I've met from TNG. I can't bloody remember. I can't blooming remember. I met a few from other Star Treks as well. I've met some from others. I'm trying to think from TNG. Beverly's the only one I can think of. There must be others. I've not met Michael. I've not met Patrick Stewart. My mate's mother has. Because he was the Chancellor at the university where my friend's mother worked. And, she met him for that. Who else is there? I've not met Marina Sirtis or Jonathan Frakes or Michael Dawn or LeVar Burton. I've not met them. Not met Brent Spiner. Not met Will Wheaton. No, I think out of the Next Generation crew, I think there's only Beverly Crusher I've met at a convention. Met a few out of Deep Space Nine and Enterprise and Voyager. Anyway, so there we go. Boom. Who have you met from TNG? Gates McFadden. From TNG, I've only met Frakes and Dawn. I was going to meet Spiner, but he mysteriously cancelled, and it turns out it was for the secret Picard filming. Ooh, right. Well, it's a surprise you got to meet Frakes, because he's notorious, isn't he, for cancelling convention appearances. They shouldn't be allowed to make a commitment to go to a convention. You've made that commitment. Never mind if you get another job somewhere else. Tough! Anyway. So there we go. So that was Chain of Command. The serious one from that's from season 6. I could have sworn it had won awards, but obviously not. Anyway, next up, Ship in a Bottle. This is the return of Moriarty. There we are, and Baker Street, Sherlock Holmes, and Baker Street, and all that. It turns out something wrong with the holodeck. Spatial things. People that are left-handed in the holodeck are suddenly becoming right-handed and vice versa. So something's up. Pardon me. So they call Reg to sort it out. There we go. Reg appears, and there we go. So I'll sort it out, Commander. So it starts faffing with the holodeck, and then Moriarty appears. Actually, it runs the program. He says, "Oh, what's this?" And it's Moriarty. And apparently Moriarty's been aware of the passage of time while he's been locked in, what they call it? I don't know. In some weird storage. Protected storage, that's it. Protected memory. That's what it wanted. He was locked away in protected memory while they figured out how to get him off the holodeck. Remember from the previous episode? Elementary Dear Data with Wynne Grace's favourite doctor in it. There we go. Only problem I have with this episode, no one even mentions Pulaski. No, he doesn't even say, does he? Where's Madame Pulaski? I want to fill her with crumpets. Should have said that, shouldn't I? But they want to erase the memory of Pulaski. No, they don't want to set off Gates McFadden, you see. That's what it is. Don't want her kicking off. Anyway, there you go. Moriarty appears. And he's angry that they haven't found a way to get him off the holodeck. And he meets Picard. And Picard tells him that we've been trying to suss it out. And he said, but we haven't been able to. But anyway. But Moriarty's been up to his own shenanigans, and basically he traps them on the holodeck. God knows how he does it. I don't know. He's super clever. It doesn't make a huge amount of sense. This is the one. That's why it's called Ship in a Bottle. He recreates the Enterprise on the holodeck, so they think they're on the Enterprise, but they're not. They're on the holodeck. That's Moriarty's plan. That should have been the twist, not the left-hand thing, but he recreates the ship perfectly, except when they go to sick bay. Pulaski is there. Yes, that would have been good, wouldn't it? Because they wouldn't know otherwise, would they? Boom, fixed it. Yes, because he knew Pulaski as the Doctor, didn't he? Did he know she was the Doctor on the ship, though? I don't know. Because in this one, it kind of suggests that he doesn't know that the Enterprise is a starship. He thinks it sails the high seas, but yet he drew a picture of it in the first one, didn't he? In Elementary Dear Date, he drew a picture of the Enterprise, which obviously wasn't an ocean clipper or whatever from the 19th century. But anyway, walks off the holodeck, as we'll see in a minute. There we go. I think, therefore I am, and he say, no, you will cease to exist, and then obviously he doesn't, because they don't know that they're still on the holodeck. But then it's recreated all the crew as well, and I don't know how, but he's done it. The AI in the holodeck systems must be amazing. But anyway. But obviously they suss it out. All right, so it's saying, I want you to figure it out, and I also want you to, so I can bring out Stephanie Beacham, the gorgeous Stephanie Beacham. I love Stephanie Beacham, who plays, I don't know, Countess somebody or other, I've forgotten. Who does she play? By the way, Daniel Davis returning as Moriarty. Stephanie Beacham, Countess Regina Bartholomew, that's it. Let's meet Countess Regina Bartholomew. There she is. The lovely Stephanie Beacham, who you may know from Sequest DSV. What else was she in? Dynasty. Was it that with the Colbys? Can't remember. One of them Dallas spin-offs. But I mostly remember her from Dracula AD 1972. She looked amazing in that. And young. But anyway. So they're trying to work it out, how to do it, but they can't. And but then they figure out. I think Data figures it out because I think Geordie becomes left-handed instead of right-handed, so he realises that they're still on the holodeck. Meanwhile, the Enterprise is in real peril. Something's going to blow up or whatever. But Moriarty's taking control of the ship, the real ship. But they outwit him, and they said we've sussed it out. So they beam him out of the. That's what they want to do. They want to beam him out of the holodeck, and they're going to go get one of these super duper shuttles. It's like an in between Type C and Runabout. One of these, it's a bit bigger, called the Sakharov. Who I think were a Soviet rocket scientist. I think he wanted. Wingray says it could have left the holodeck for a few moments if season 1 is to be believed. Well, yeah, because anyway, yeah, because them gangsters, didn't they? They went off the holodeck and then went and disappeared, didn't they? Some people have said, how did Data take that paper off the holodeck? The drawing he did, and but that could have been replicated, couldn't it? Because the holodeck uses like transporter technology and replicator technology, which is why you can eat things in it on the holodeck. So it does a mixture. So the paper could have been replicated, but you can't replicate people, can you? Well, you can, but wouldn't be alive, would they? Anyway, so they're going to jump in this shuttlecraft and off they go. Yes, I assume most interactive objects are probably replicated. Yes, they probably are. But the characters are, holograms, are they? Right. Where were we? Oh, right, yes, the jump in this shuttlecraft and off they go into the midnight thing of space. And when I saw this interior of the shuttle, I thought they'd given it a special interior. Because I thought, have they given it like some weird steampunk, wooden interior to go with, their Victorian aesthetic? But they haven't, because I think we see it in the next episode, an interior of shuttle, and it's the same, so it's just how it is. But it looks weird, like this, this weird brown interior. But anyway. So off they go. They think they're going to explore the galaxy. And she says, can we return to Earth? And he says, yes, I'm sure we can. But then it turns out that they're not really. They've outwitted them. And they're in that cube instead. And we never find out. He says, they're in here and they can live their entire lives in this. It's running permanently in this cube. So there we go. Whatever happens to that, don't know. When the Enterprise D gets destroyed, does that get destroyed with it, or do they send it off to that Section 31 place where Moriarty is there as well, but it's not the same one, but whatever. Who knows? Because we never see Moriarty again. Not this one, we see a different one in Picard Season 3. We found out what happened in my award-winning YouTube video. Yes. But I've forgotten. Because you know what I'm like? I've watched it on the... I remember the thumbnail. Right. Bear with me. Find you Windgrace's channel. By the way, rest in peace, Roberto Orsi. And Michelle Trachtenberg. I forgot what I'm doing now. Oh, wow, looking for that one. Where is it? Well, I'm saying I remember it. I can't find the bugger. Was it recent or was it a while ago? I'm sure I've got this image in me, my mind of him, of Moriarty. Prior to Picard Season 3, so like 2023. Oh, right, so I'll keep going then. I want to find it. Where the hell is it? We're getting there. She's talking about Picard Season 3 now. Is it that one? So there's Moriarty there. Thoughts on Star Trek at New York Comic Con. Is it that one? I'll go back to that. Might be. Let's have a look. Because you've got a picture of Moriarty on it. Bear with me. Here it is. Hang on, is that it? Right. Share this tab instead. Let me go theatre mode. Is it this one? My only two viral videos were Picard season. Oh, it might not be this. Oh, I'm looking at the right one. It might not be this one because this one isn't exactly viral. Is it not that one? Oh, it was after this. All right. Stop sharing then. Oh, I've pressed the wrong button, Anna. Oh, useless git. There we go. There it is. Right, I'm going to find the bugger. I don't care. We're live and I don't care. You don't have to play it. I didn't know how to edit or anything yet then. Anyway, it was after that. So, right. So, where is it then? I'll look for it another time. I have seen it. He says. I'm pretty sure I have. Jack Crusher who? Still haven't watched Quantum Leap. Is it that one, the Daystrom Station? That's got 1,100 views. Is it that one? And I have liked it, so I must have watched it. No, before that. Oh, crikey. Before that. How Q saved the day in Picard season 3. That's got 1,100 views. Oh, is it that one? Or is it it's a fake one? Oh, right, is it that one? Oh, yes, 24,000 views, that baby. Crikey. I'd only dream about that many views. Oh, there he is. Yes, there he is. Right. I have liked it, so I have seen it. I have seen it. So there we go. So if anybody wants to know what Windgrace's videos are like, I'm going to share it a bit. Do you mind? Let's have a little listen.
Just a few months ago at New York Comic-Con, something happened.
I received a distress call from Beverly Crusher.
Something that really riled up Star Trek fans.
I now prefer pacifism to combat. We're all gonna die.
Something that took the entire internet by storm. For better or for worse, Season 3 of Star Trek Picard is destined to be a drastic departure from the first 2 seasons of that show. And let's be honest here, it's for the better. It's no secret that the current state of Star Trek has deeply polarized the fan base. Some love the new offerings while others seem to despise them to the core. But what if I were to tell you the solution to all of these problems lies in this upcoming season of Picard? What if I were to tell you that a single character holds the keys to unlocking a mystery that we never even knew existed? What if I were to tell you that everything is about to change?
There he is.
Greetings, old friends.
That's right, friends. This simple return of a 2-time TNG guest star may hold the entire state of the current Star Trek universe in his hands. First appearing in one of the best...
There we go. So, yes, that one. So go and watch that. Add to its 24,000 view count. I will leave it there and I'll watch it later. Right. Back to Picard. Season... TNG season 7. So anyway, yeah, Shipping the Ball. A nice episode. I liked it. Adding millions of new views as we speak. Millions, saying it like Carl Sagan. Millions and millions. Or The Rock. So yeah, Shipping the Ball. A good episode. I liked that one. It was fun. It was fun. And it's got Stephanie Beacham in as well. Aquiel. Another one that I can't say I love this episode, but it's one I generally, if I do a rewatch, it's one I'll skip over. But it's not a bad episode, really. But turns out it's a Geordie falling in love with the wrong person. Geordie's kind of the Harry Kim of the Enterprise, isn't it? Harry Kim always ends up with the wrong girl, or going after the wrong girl, the wrong twin, or the Borg, or whatever. Geordie always ends up going for the wrong girl as well, doesn't he? Which he does in this one, Aquiel. They go to this station where everybody's dead, apart from a dog. And and the aforementioned Aquiel, who's, I can't remember, she's an alien. He's shooting at something. And it turns out there were an alien on the ship. There's the dog. She escaped in a shuttle or something. But mate, Geordie learning no lessons after the no. And he thinks they're all dead, and he finds going through the logs of the crew person Aquiel. I can't remember the full Aquiel Lunari or something like that. There we go, Aquiel Unari. That's it. Going through her personal logs to try and find out what's happened, and he falls in love with her because she is pretty, if a bit forehead bumpy, but falls in love with her, and but then they end up with finding the real one, the Klingons, because it's near Klingon space or something, and they find the real Aquiel. The Klingons found her because she'd escaped in the shuttle. A ship attacked him, but I don't know, it didn't. Apparently she's not the model officer, and stuff happened and all that. But it turns out that these aliens controlling people, and they've got to sort that out. And it's not the best episode, but it's okay. But obviously they win the day, and it looks like Picard were about to do a radio show or something then, didn't it? But anyway, so that the suss out. I can't remember what happens with her. I think she just goes off on another posting somewhere. I can't remember. But anyway, so there we go. Yeah, it's a whatever episode, another filler, to be honest, and it's generally one I skip. Yeah, there's some like what they call them. Like a non-corporeal alien or something that goes in and takes over somebody, and it done that with her commanding officer and something else or whatever. But yeah, whatever. Next. Here we go. Face of the Enemy. I actually skipped this one because I just couldn't be bothered watching it. Although I do like this episode, but it's a Deanna-centric episode, and she kind of does me head in because she just spends half the episode with her gob open like that. But as I said, she makes a tasty Romulan, I must admit. But it's not showing her, is it? Until she gets to the sink. There she is. Look, half the episode she's like that. It's like bloody Jodie Whittaker as Doctor Who. She had her gob open half the bloody episodes that she were in. Anyway, she's been kidnapped by the Romulans and surgically altered to... is it surgically or just cosmetically? Probably surgically. To look like a Romulan. Why do they have red lips? Wonder that about Vulcans and that. They show them like red lips. They don't have red blood, so they should have green lips, shouldn't they? But never mind. Where were we? All right, so she's been brought on board a Romulan warbird. She's a member of the Tal Shiar. They say she's somebody else, like the Romulan underground have kidnapped her and changed her because they've got some dissidents that they want to transport over to the Enterprise. The Scott McDonald as sub-commander. What's his face? I don't know. Nevek? Don't know. Let's have a look. I can't remember. Opening new link. Bloody hell, I was right. Sub-Commander Nevek. Crikey. Also stars Carolyn Seymour, who I really like in everything I've seen her in. Even in Congo. She was in for about 10 seconds. But she plays the... Is she the captain or the commander? I'm sure they say captain in this. But they don't really have captains, do they? She's usually commander, isn't it? But anyway, whatever. Tereth. A different one. Not that she's played a Romulan before. I think she's playing a different one this time. But anyway, Nevek is part of the Romulan underground, or whatever you want to call it, resistance. I don't know. And in the cargo bay, they've got when we get there, they've got some people that they want transporting, some defectors. But anyway, meanwhile, the Enterprise is picking up its own defector. By the way, there's Caroline Seymour as the captain of this ship, although I thought they used commanders. I don't know, whatever. But the Enterprise has got its own defector that's coming back from Romulus. It defected to Romulus, I don't know, 20 years earlier, whatever. He's even got a Romulan hairdo, if it shows him. There he is, coming back. Didn't make him dye his hair, though, did they? But obviously Riker's not impressed, Yeah. But he'll find some civilian clothes, get out of that Romulan clobber. Anyway, so he's going to help him. He's working with the Romulan underground as well. So there we go. So she's giving them orders because she can order the Romulan captain about. She says, you've got to go to this certain place because she's in the Tal Shiar, so she can boss people about. Got to go here and meet with the Enterprise, well, whatever. There'll be another ship. There'll be a freighter there that you're going to beam something to. That's what she's saying. But they destroy the freighter. But then the Enterprise turns up and they beam over the defectors. Although the Romulans don't know the defectors in these stasis things. They beam them over to the Enterprise, and that's about it, really. And then they get her out of there, and she's fine, and all that stuff. Navek gets killed to death, and there we go. And that's it. It's a Deanna episode. It's supposed to show off Marina Sirtis's acting chops. Don't really. She just shouts for one scene. Thinks she can act. Let me see if I can find it. I will have you ejected into space. Do I make myself clear, Sub-Commander? Look, I can act. Is she going to do it now? Here we go. Where is it? Maybe not. Is it that bit?
Senior officers always dine together.
It might be later. I can't remember. But anyway, whatever. So, yeah, it's a good episode. I'd quite like it. It's just that, I don't like Marina Sirtis. I'm sorry, I just don't. Unless it's got a gob open again, look. Look, every time you see her, look, she's got a mouth. Look, got a mouth open. Anyway, whatever. Good episode, though, apart from that. Apart from her. Right, next up. Oh, crikey, we skipped in there, didn't we? Tapestry. This is another fan favourite episode, isn't it? This is where Picard's been shot in his artificial heart. So is he dead? It doesn't actually answer it, but there you go. Is the fighting to bring him back? And he appears in the afterlife or whatever. Or maybe he's gone to the Bajoran prophets, because this happens with Ben and Cisco as well, doesn't it? But no, Q's there. So he's Q. How would Q react to the Bajoran prophets? Pardon me. Do they interact? Because Q's only been in Deep Space Nine once, and he didn't interact with them then, did he? Anyway, who knows? Anyway, so he says, you're dead and I'm God. And so this is the Man Called Joe or whatever. It's a Wonderful Life episode, isn't it? Where it shows, if he goes back, gives Picard a chance to change his life, because he got his artificial heart when he was stabbed through it in a quite gruesome manner. By Nausicaan, who were kind of like Predator, like that. But anyway, in the comics, says Wingrace, the prophets are just under the Q. All right, PQ, yeah. Are they the P? Anyway, it's showing there. Look, how he gets stabbed through the heart. Is it going to show it? There we go. There you go. Shows him fighting Nausicaans, And then he gets stabbed through the heart. And then he laughs, look, quite gruesome. And then he laughs and drops. And that's how he got his artificial heart. You'd have thought he'd died instantly, wouldn't he? But no. It's the 24th century. So Q sends Picard back to his academy days. There we go, in his Mighty Maroon. Why didn't they do that with, all the other Mighty Maroon? Is it Mighty Maroon? Don't sound right. Whatever. When we see the old movie era uniforms in TNG, they did away with the white, roll neck sweater or whatever, or the white undershirt. Got it back here. It's not as big, obviously, but still looks better than just having the red uniform. So anyway, so there we go. So it's back being a cadet. He's just been slapped there for some reason. Can't remember. Turns out he's a bit of a gigolo. Likes the ladies, even the older ladies. The lady in this that he sees and gets a drink thrown on him looks a lot like his brother's wife. To me, anyway. But anyway, we're meeting him. Obviously, he appears young to them. He had a full head of hair, as we saw earlier on. Unless you watch Star Trek Nemesis. Oh, look at me going. Anyway, so he's going to relive his life and not make the same mistakes again. Oh, there she is. Looks a lot like his brother's wife from Family. Samantha Egger. I don't think it is her. Oh, who plays? Who plays this lady whose name I've forgotten? He calls her a handsome woman and gets a drink thrown in his face for his trouble. It doesn't say there. No. Does it say here? No. Casting and filming. Let's have a look. Who we got? Brandy is a name, I think. No, it isn't. That's somebody else. That's one of the younger people. That's his academy friend who he ends up sleeping with in this episode. Obviously, it doesn't show it. Who plays this older lady? Or is it this cougar, I suppose you could say. It doesn't say. I don't know who played. I'll have to look on the IMDb page for it. Because Wikipedia's rubbish. No, not that. Silly man. They moved it. There we go. Right. All cast and crew. Is it her? Is it? Don't think it's her, is it? Is it Penny? Maybe it is. I forgot. Where is it? I've lost it again. Where are you? Penny Moorock. Renda Ray Norman. Let's have a look, see if it's her. Yes, it's her. Yes. Anyway, I still think she looks like Samantha Egger, his brother's wife. Anyway, whatever. He gets a drink thrown in his face, anyway. Called her a handsome woman. Oh, I've pressed the wrong button, stupid idiot. Oh, bear with me, 'cause I'm stupid. I've gone to season 7 now. What an idiot. Where were we? Keep going. What are we up to? Tapestry. There we go. Right, where were we? Anyway, so his friend, his friend gets into a domjot, it's like pool game with the said Nausicans and losers, and blames them for cheating, not to the face. So he wants to cheat back at them, and Picard says, "No, you're not going to do it," and that's what got him into the fight in the first place, where he got stabbed through the heart. So he changes it. He says, "You're not going to cheat, and you're not going to do it, and I'll grass you up." So they all fall out with him, and but she still sleeps with him. But they all fall out with him, and so anyway, his career goes a different path because he didn't get stabbed through the heart and nearly die. So he ends up going on the Enterprise, but just as a lieutenant. There he is, Lieutenant Picard. They don't become captain. It tells us who the captain is, and I forgot who they say, because he asks who the captain is. Does it say who's there was assistant astrophysics officer? Captain Thomas Halloway. Do we ever see Captain Thomas Halloway? Windgrace. Is he ever mentioned again? Don't know. But nobody ever mentions him, do they? Captain Thomas Halloway of the Enterprise D. What did he look like? What did he get up to? Nobody knows. Anyway, so that's what happened to him. He's only a lieutenant junior grade, even though he's 105 years old. But anyway, I always feel sorry for these officers. You see some quite elderly, probably my age officers that are still like ensigns and let's say like that lieutenant junior grade, and be thinking it must stick in the craw. But anyway. But like I say, he's just gone through. He's a decent officer, but he just hasn't taken risks. That's what it is, and he hasn't progressed. So he says to Q, send me back. I'm going to change it, and get stabbed again. And so he goes back, and he gets stabbed through the heart, and then Beverly saves him, and he wakes up laughing. And there we go. And because he laughed when the Nausicaan stabbed him through the heart, and so it says, so he's there, he's telling Will all about it. Did he really die? Was it just a dream? Was Q really there? Who knows? I had this Mandela effect thing where I thought actually Q appeared, in the display or somewhere, or his head popped out of the table, and give him a wink or something like that. I did think Q appeared at the end to make us think, it was real, but it doesn't. I were wrong. But yeah, it's a good episode, this Tapestry. I think it's a fan favourite, isn't it? Because it gives us a glimpse into Picard's youth and how brash and cocky he was. He even says that, doesn't he? I was cocky back in them days. So there we go. So that's Tapestry. A good episode. Moving on. Episode 60, Birthright. So another two-parter, Birthright Part 1. This one, I really like Part 1 of Birthright. Part 2, don't give a monkey's about. I don't. Part 1 is great, I love it, because they're at Deep Space Nine, yay! Look, the Enterprise D, docked at Deep Space Nine, yay! They're there to see some Bajoran aqueduct systems or whatever. Anyway, while they're there, we don't see any of the Deep Space Nine regulars apart from Dr. Bashir, who is credited in this as Siddig El Fadil, not Alexander Siddig. He is Siddig El Fadil, because he hadn't changed his name by then. But anyway, they're on the promenade. There they are with their not anti-tilt DS9 mugs. And George, we're learning that the food on Deep Space Nine is horrible unless you're a Klingon, and Worf says it's delicious. Much like them, is it Katarian eggs or whatever they were that Riker made that were horrible? He liked them as well. So delicious. Pardon me. So while he's there, Worf meets Jaglum Shrek, played by names. Him that played Zefram Cochrane. James Cromwell. There we go, James Cromwell. Who's a Iridian. There we go, it's all coming to me. Plays an Iridian who don't have thumbs. I noticed this for the first time. Iridians don't have thumbs. And I'm going to have to watch every time we see an Iridian in Star Trek if they give them thumbs. Because Jaglum Shrek don't have thumbs, as you can see there, look. But we'll see a close-up of him later. Meanwhile, on the Enterprise, Julian Bashir's there in the medical bay with something that they brought back from the Gamma Quadrant, and he doesn't know what it is, so he's using the Enterprise's more advanced diagnostic tools than he's got on Deep Space Nine to check out what it is. And Data helps him, and so they take it to engineering to sort that out. There's Jaglum Shrek talking to Worf, telling him that his father's still alive. He wasn't killed at Kittimer, and there were prisoners taken by the Romulans, and he's still alive. So that's what he's saying to him there. And we'll see that he's got no thumbs later. Anywho, skip intro. So there he is. What's his hand? Look, oh, it's not showing it, is it? Look, Siddiq El Fadil, not Alexander Siddiq. Look, no thumbs. How do they manipulate things? You know, you need thumbs, don't you? Because the thing, isn't there? If cats ever evolve thumbs, we're doomed. But anyway, so he knows the location where his father is. So Worf ends up going off to find his father. He's been given time off. Not the only time this season he gets time off to deal with personal matters, but anyway, so he's off there to do that. Meanwhile, Data and Bashir are dealing with this. Data gets zapped. There he is, zapped by the whatever it is. We never learn what it is. And it activates something inside him, a special chip or whatever that Dr. Sung put in Data, so he can dream, and he starts having dreams or dreamlike visions. There we go. And he sees Dr. Sung as a blacksmith. So there we go. So he starts having visions, and so he can dream now. Basically, that's what the first episode is generally about. It's about Data learning how to dream and having visions and stuff like that. And then Worf's... Where is Odo? Why ain't Odo stopping Worf from threatening this fella on the promenade? Nobody gives a monkeys. Anyway, so he's going to take him to this planet where the Klingons are being held prisoner by the Romulans, and Data is learning how to dream and all that stuff, getting these visions and seeing crows and flying about the Enterprise and all that stuff. Meanwhile, Worf... he lands on this planet and meets this young Klingon woman and all that stuff. Data's doing painting his visions, and it turns out it's like I say, it's this thing that's been activated by Dr. Sung, and that's about it really. It's just an extra thing that Data can do now. It can dream, but didn't tell us, why this thing from the Gamma Quadrant activated it, or even what it is. Did the Dominion make it? Who knows? But anyway, Worf's arrived on this planet and finds that all the other Klingons are there. We learn that his dad isn't there. His dad were killed at Kittimer, so he died an honourable death. He wasn't taken prisoner. But it turns out these are all living in harmony with their Romulan captors. And that's it really. And then we go to part 2. And part 2 is just about what's going on. Don't need the recap. It's just about what's going on this planet. I can't even remember the name of it. But they're living in harmony with the Romulans. The Romulan commander or whatever has even married a Klingon woman and had that young Klingon he saw is half Romulan, and so Worf's there to teach him all about being Klingon, and then there's the young people who were curious about. Hang on, stop playing. Curious about being Klingon. Worf tries to escape, doesn't get very far. Blah blah blah. Quite boring, to be honest. I don't like part 2 of Birthright. I don't. So in the end. He shows the young Klingons how to do Klingon-y type things, and They're going to execute Worf, by the way. It's the only thing we can do, because Worf would just go and tell everybody where we are, and Klingons would come and murder us all and all that stuff. But Worf agrees to take the younguns away to go back to Kronos. Obviously, they must promise, not to grass them up. So that's what's going to happen. And he tells them that they are, the survivors from a ship that crashed. That's what he tells them when he goes back. So I don't. Did they ever learn the truth? I don't know. Next episode. There we go. So that was Birthright Part 2. I don't give a monkeys about Part 2 of Birthright, but Part 1 with Data and all that, really good. I like that bit. Data learning how to dream. Anyway, next up, this is the Die Hard episode, Starship Mine. I'm not sure why they call it that. So I'm thinking like Enemy Mine, but that's nothing to do with this. Enemy Mine, well, basically Robinson Crusoe, so the return of Starbuck, two enemies on a planet coming together to survive. That doesn't happen here. It's not called that. Or is it Picard? Because Picard ends up alone on the Enterprise, defending it against these baddies. So that means the starship is his alone, as in Starship Mine. Don't know, whatever. The Enterprise is at the Remler array. Because the Enterprise has been bombing about at high warp for a long time. It's got to go and have a Decian sweep, where they're going to do a beam down the Enterprise and it's going to fix it. But if any organic life is left on the Enterprise, it'll be destroyed by the Decian. I think it's Decian sweep, something like that, isn't it? So they've got to get everybody off. I hope they remembered his fish. I hope they remembered Livingston, because he's not having a good season, is he? I'm sure they did. So anyway, so that's what's going to happen. So they're all going down to a reception by Commander Hutchinson, who is really boring, but not as boring as me. But there he is. He's an expert at small talk. So we have some comedy with Data doing small talk and all that stuff. It's fine. It's where we learn that Picard's got a saddle, so he's going to go. He goes back to the ship to get his saddle. Says, "You have horses," so goes back for his saddle. That's when he encounters the bad guys on the Enterprise, the posing as maintenance crew. So anyway, there he is. He's gone back for his saddle and his jodhpurs. Oh dear. I wonder if Patrick Stewart. Oh no, he can't. I'm going to say, I wonder if he can ride a horse. I wonder if he could ride a horse here, because I don't think we actually see him on the horse, do we? Well, no, because we don't get the horse in this. Did we see him on a horse in Cupid? I don't think we did we? Anyway, whatever. He's about to beam back, and then suddenly the power goes out. They're all alone on the ship. The beam thing or whatever is going to start up, and he's got to find a way off the ship. Tim Russ is there, not as Tuvok. He's playing one of the bad guys. There he is, because he's not Vulcan. Looks playing one of the bad guys. I also see Patricia Tallman, who was in this season a couple of times at least. She plays a bad guy in this one. And she plays another bad guy later on, near the end of the season. Well, not a Romulan one. She looks like a Romulan, but she's not. She's an alien. But anyway, so there we go. So we've got Tim Russ there as a bad guy. Anyway, so Picard's got to deal with these bad guys. They're trying to get trilithium, which is a byproduct of the warp drive. Didn't mention that in Star Trek Generations, did they? They didn't seem to know what trilithium was in that. But anyway, whatever. Never mind. They're trying to get that to sell to the highest bidder or whatever. So there we go. And so Picard's got to deal with those, which he does, obviously. And some of the crew get taken out with the Decian beam or whatever it's called. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right. I'm going to have to look that up. It's not Decian, is it? Baryon sweep. That's it, Baryon sweep. Where do you get Decian from? Don't know. Anyway, the Baryon sweep. Some of them get killed with that, and others in other ways. There were Patricia Tallman there. You see her. There she is. For peace sake. There she is. There's Patricia Tallman. Lita Alexander from Babylon 5. Pardon me. And she's also in the remake of Night of the Living Dead. Anyway, so it deals with them. They get the trilithium, but it's got to have a stabilising device put on it, which Picard takes off just as they beam away to the ship that they're going to escape from. Excuse me. So all fun and games, and then Picard's in 10 forward, right at the front of the ship in 10 forward, and he gets in touch with the base and says, shut off the barium sweep. And it's nearly getting him, but it stops just in time. And hang on, and because he'd taken off the stabilising thing, their ship that they're escaping in blows up. There it is. Like that, boom. So they don't get away to the bad guys. And so there we go. And so everybody goes back to the Enterprise, and everything's lovely. And they find Picard's saddle. And there we go, off they go to more adventures at high warp, but not for much longer. I think in season 7, we see that high warp travel damages subspace. But anyway, so there we go, that Starship Mine. A good fun episode, and one that allows Patrick Stewart to do some action stuff. Next up, Lessons. This is the sequel to The Inner Light, isn't it? Where Picard falls in love, and he tells her all about what happened in The Inner Light and his flute and all that stuff. And but anyway, falls in love with a this is a lieutenant commander, isn't she? He falls in love with her. There she is. Who kind of looks, to me, I don't know, but it looks a bit like Beverly Crusher. Her hair's not as red, but it's like he's just letting us know that he likes women a bit like Beverly Crusher. But anyway, falls in love with her. Don't ask me her name, I can't remember. Let's have a look, because you know what I'm like. She's called Nella Darren, Lieutenant Commander Nella Darren. Is that short for Eleanor? I have no idea. It doesn't tell us. But she's a pianist. She plays the piano, and so there we go. She's also an exobiologist or whatever. But he falls in love with her, and but then he's got to send her on a dangerous mission. But they fall in love, and they have a relationship, and all the crew's happy that the captain's happy, and all that stuff. And there he's playing his flute. And they go to this part of the ship where it's got the best acoustics. Does the Enterprise have one of the NX-01 Enterprise where you can float about upside down? The sweet spot, does it have one of those? Don't know. But anyway, they go to this acoustic place where they're playing their music. She's got a roll-out keyboard, and he's got his flute, and they're playing away, and everybody can hear Geordie can hear this music coming from somewhere. But anyway, there she is. Den, he's up Mother Brown. That's what I'd be playing. Dear. Anyway, so he falls in love with her, and everybody's happy that he's in love, and all that stuff. A bit awkward at first, because he feels self-conscious, but then he learns to live with it. But then he's got to send her on a dangerous mission, and they think she's killed at one point, but it turns out she's not. And so by the end, they agree that she's going to ask for a transfer. He says, actually, you could resign your commission and just stay here with me as a civilian. And she says, sod off. You can come with me to a starbase. You can resign your commission. So, no, I don't bloody think so. So they think, right, we'll part ways. But we can still see each other. And they never see each other again, as far as I know. Because he ends up marrying Beverly, doesn't he? Was she at the wedding? I wonder. I don't know. But anyway. So off she goes, and that's it. So bittersweet ending, but never mind. It's fine. It's a love story. Blech. Next. The Chase, a really, really good one. Don't know why it started in the middle. This is the one with Professor Galen, where this is the one. Which one? This is the one that Star Trek Resurgence. Is it Star Trek Resurgence? Is the sequel to? Is it? Can't remember now. We saw a sequel to it, didn't we, recently? Oh no, it was Discovery Season 5, wasn't it? Discovery Season 5 was a sequel to this, wasn't it? A bad one. Anyway, Star Trek Resurgence was the sequel. That with the... I've forgotten. Yes. The Takon Empire. That was the last outpost. Yes, that was the Takon, wasn't it? And Discovery Season 5 was the sequel to this, wasn't it? Anyway, this is the one where the Enterprise bombs about the quadrant, piecing together Dr. Galen's research. He's with this Kurlan Neskos. It's over 12,000 years old or whatever. But anyway, he dies because Picard is into archaeology with his archaeology professor, and they want Picard to go with him to do all this research about this stuff, and he says, I can't. So they fall out, and he goes, but then he gets killed by bad guys. And so they carry on his research, and it turns out that they're finding DNA from all over the quadrant, alpha and beta quadrants, that's sending them on this merry chase to all these different planets. So, but it turns out the Klingons and Cardassians they've also heard of Professor Galen's research, but they think it's some ancient weapon that he's going to find. A bit like ancient aliens. But anyway, so off they go, doing stuff. The Klingons obviously are our friends, the Cardassians are duplicitous. So anyway, they end up on this other planet. There it is. They end up on Star Trek Rocky set number 3 or whatever. When I say Rocky set, I don't mean a boxing ring. I mean, a set made of rocks. Anyway, so there, and then the Romulans arrive, and they do something with a tricorder, and it creates a changeling, except it's not. There he goes. So it's played by a changeling, played by, I've forgotten the name. She was in the West. I think she was in The Searchers. I've forgotten the name. Just bear with me. She played the lead changeling, apart from Odo, in Deep Space Nine. Salome Jens, that's it. Probably mispronouncing it, but it's spelled Salome Jens. Ancient humanoid, she's called. Turns out these were the first humanoids to evolve in the galaxy, and they seeded lots of other planets with their seed, so to speak, which is why all the species that we seem to encounter that are intelligent all basically have 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. So, but of varying lumpiness. So that's how we know that happened. Although I think, is that contradicted? Except they attend. What does that mean? They weren't. I have no idea what you're trying to say, Wingrace. I have no idea. Anyway. So, she's saying, so you all look alike, so there's some piece of us in all of you, and some of all of you in each other. And so the Cardassians are saying, per disco. Oh, no. Don't ask me what happened in season 5 of Disco. I just know what it would have, that it had a sequel to this. I can't actually remember what happened in it. Except they weren't the first. Oh, right. I honestly can't remember. They also seeded Vascazoid rocks across the... I have no idea what you're saying. Anyway, so in this episode, never mind Discovery, that doesn't count. That isn't canon. The seeded dirt planets, so we're all related to each other, distantly. Right. So anyway, so there we go. So that's that. So whatever. A good episode, a fun episode with Enterprise going to all these different planets. All right. All planets have Vasquez rocks. All right. I see what you mean now. I wonder what you're on about. When you said Vasquez, I was thinking of aliens. Oh dear. My headcanon is they seeded them. All right. Right. I was thinking of Vasquez from Aliens when you Vasquez, somebody with a big smart gun. Anyway, so that's The Chase. A good fun episode. Again, I think it's another fan favourite. But anyway, next up, an episode I don't like because it's kind of disturbing and it's a psychological one, and it's another one with Riker with mad hair because he's not getting sleep or whatever. And I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I watched it bloody last night, and I still don't know what happened in it. Still don't know. But Riker's kind of losing his mind, and he keeps seeing this fella on the ship, and Riker's either in an insane asylum, or he's held prisoner somewhere, or he's on the Enterprise going mad. Who knows? But he's playing in a play where he's playing a crazy person, and but it turns out he's not, and I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. I think he's being held on another planet with these people with these weird heads, and I don't know. But they get him back. There you go. They beam him out, and you know what? I don't know. I don't like this episode because I just don't. But they get him out, and everything's okay in the end, I think. But whatever, he's probably gonna have lots of appointments with Deanna by the end. Yeah, I don't like Frame of Mind. It's probably my least favourite episode. It's even worse than Rascals. At least Rascals had something going for it, had a decent story. Frame of Mind just isn't. I don't know. I just didn't like it, and I found it maybe a little bit too dark for my delicate mind. I don't know, but I don't like Frame of Mind. So we'll move on to episode 22, Suspicions. A decent episode, but they've shoehorned Beverly into a role that I don't really understand. But it starts off, we learn that she's being fired. She's no longer the chief medical officer, and there's going to be a tribunal or whatever, a court-martial, I don't know. Because somebody's died, and it's all her fault. And so Guinan comes in and says, I've got tennis elbow, deal with it. So then she tells the story of what happened. So it's half the episode's in flashback. So she's telling us what happened leading up to her being relieved of duty. And it turns out, for some reason, I don't know why, Beverly's got all these scientists to come on board the Enterprise because one of them, a Ferengi scientist, this fella, has developed some super ace shielding, metaphasic shielding. Why Beverly's interested in that, I have no idea. You'd think Geordie or somebody from engineering would be interested in that. But no, they had to have Beverly. Maybe she didn't have enough episodes this season, I don't know. But they needed it to be Beverly because of what she does later. She does an autopsy later against orders, which is why she's in trouble. But anyway. So they get these others in. There's this Vulcan scientist who's proper tasty, with her human husband, a Klingon female scientist who is also proper tasty, I must admit. There she is. There she is. So all these sexy aliens in this episode. And also another scientist who is from another name, I can't remember his race. Let's check. I can't remember. Bear with me. Suspicions. Jabril is called. But what is his? Is a Takaran. There we go. Takaran. Who she doesn't know anything about. She doesn't know his physiology or whatever. for plot points. Anyway, so Dr. Rager, the Ferengi scientist, his for Pete's sake, show him. There he is. His research into metaphasic shielding means that you can have shields on a ship, and it can even fly through a star. It's that good. And so there we go. But something goes wrong. There we go. Jabril volunteers to fly a shuttle. Why did they have to put somebody in the shuttle? I don't get it. I don't know if it explains it or what. I don't know. I could be wrong. But he decides to fly the shuttle into the sun. There's Jabril. It's not bloody showing him, is it? And I don't know why can't they fly the shuttle by remote? I can't remember if it explained it or not. Maybe it does in the plot. Let's have a look. Yeah, it doesn't say. It just. And I'm looking at the plot on Wikipedia. As they are all sceptical, they decide someone other than the Ferengi should pilot the shuttle outfitted with the shielding. Jabril, a Takaran, volunteers. Why can't they pilot it by remote? I don't get it. Why do they have to put somebody in it? If it's super dangerous, which it is, he's flying into a star, for Christ's sake. Anyway, he dies. The upshot of it is he dies. They get the shuttle back, and he's dead. But not like vaporised or not like that. He's just dead. So they get him back. And she says something about his physiology is so different, I can't chop him up and do an autopsy. But whatever. We'll just shove him in the fridge. Because you know what's going to happen later, don't you? Anyway, so she's got suspicions about what's going on. She, thinks something's up. But then Dr. Rager ends up dead, and I can't remember how. They just find him dead. There you go. They just find him dead. So she thinks he's been murdered. Because they should have just asked Data to do this, shouldn't they? Because he's Sherlock Holmes and everything. He'd have worked it out. So he thinks he's been murdered. But nobody believes her, there's no evidence, and she's not allowed to do an autopsy because of Ferengi custom. I don't know if they bring that up again on Deep Space Nine, I don't know. We know that the Ferengi dry, they desiccate or whatever, don't they, the bodies, and sell off the body parts. Maybe it's to do with that, I don't know, but they didn't mention that. I don't think they did anyway. But so she's going around asking everybody, did you kill the Ferengi? And no, I didn't. And the Klingon woman gets angry at her, and I won't mind. I've got a thing for Klingon women. Maybe it's the hair, I don't know. So she decides, I'm just going to do an autopsy. So she does an autopsy, finds nothing wrong, with Rager. She doesn't know what killed him, so he's angry. Well, you've put me in an awkward position, etc. So she steals a shuttle. She thinks, right, I'm going to go and steal a shuttle. And the shuttle that's been outfitted with the metaphasic shields, and she's going to fly into the sun herself. She's... that's the bit, isn't it, where so she takes the shuttle. Say, Beverly, bring it back. No, I'm not. I'm flying into the star to show that the metaphasic shield works. But on the shuttle, it turns out Jabril's not dead. He wasn't dead at all. Good job she didn't chop him up. It were him that killed Rager, and it were all a ruse so he can steal the metaphasic shielding and use it as a weapon. Blah blah blah. So she just phases him to nothing. She shoots him. They have a fight. In a minute. There you go. There we go. She shoots a hole in him, and that doesn't stop him. So hang on. So she shoots him again. I must admit, cool effect that. Very. When did what do you call that film now? That film with Goldie Hawn and Bruce Willis and Meryl Streep. Where the Cat Die. That one. Death Becomes Her. Well, this 92. This wasn't it? Did that come out before or after? Can't remember. So anyway, she just vaporises him. So evidence. I'm guessing there's a log. There's like a ship's log or whatever. It's constantly recording. So that'll clear her, won't it? But anyway, so she vaporises him. As I said, lots of murder going on. I know she was fighting for her life. But she comes back and she says, it was Jabril all along and all that stuff, and I've got my job back. She gets, Guinan was saying, I've got tennis elbow, but it turns out she was lying. She don't play tennis. She just wanted Beverly to do the right thing. Whatever, I don't know. It's Guinan. An okay episode. Suspicions, It exists. It's fine. It's fine. Although, let's say, why did Beverly host this thing with these sciencey people? It's nothing to do with medicine. But, they could have got her into it in a different way, couldn't they? It could have been Geordie had invited him on board and she struck up a friendship with the Ferengi somehow, because he was actually a nice Ferengi for a change. He was a decent man and a good scientist and all that. And he wasn't like other Ferengi. So she could have somehow struck up a friendship with him, couldn't she? And then got involved that way, but they didn't. Anyway, next, moving on. Rightful Heir, another good one, this one. This is where Kalis returns. For some reason, I think, this is kind of a sequel to Birthright Part 2. Where Worf, who's been affected by his encounter with those Klingons on that planet, who did, especially the young Klingons who didn't know their Klingon heritage, started doing things in his quarter. He wants to have a vision. That's it. He wants to go like a vision quest. So rather than going to the holodeck, he just stays in his quarters and lights incense and all that. Nearly burns his quarters down, basically. That's what happens. There it is. So he's looking all boz-eyed. Looking for Kalis. Giving it all that look. So anyway, so that's what he's trying to do. So in the matter of a few episodes, he's getting some more leave of absence to go and explore his Klingon heritage. So off he goes to Bereth. Is this the first time Bereth's mentioned, or Boreth, or whatever the bloody Borath, where the Klingons, like a Klingon holy world, where they've got the time crystals in Star Trek Discovery. It's not canon. Just ignore that. But anyway, no, it's not Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, it's Star Trek Discovery, isn't it? Season 2. Yes, with the time crystals. Yes, it is. Anyway, so he goes to Boreth, however it's pronounced. And he has his vision. Obviously, he's sceptical. He's nearly ready to go and go back to the Enterprise. But they say, stay a bit longer. So he goes back, has another vision. And Kalis appears to him. Here he is. You are Kalis. There he is. I have returned. And he's got a very Star Trek The Animated Series voice. To me, he has anyway. Let's have a listen. It sounds like James Doohan doing a voice.
You are real.
He's not going to say anything, is he?
I am Kalis.
I am Kalis. I have returned. Anyway, whatever. So, what's going on? Has Kalis actually returned? Worf's sceptical, obviously, because he's from the Enterprise, been raised by humans. He don't really believe. It's like, I suppose, if somebody had a vision, somebody from the Star Trek era had a vision of the Virgin Mary or Jesus or something like that, they'd be suspicious, wouldn't they? Or Kirk and Shakari, he was suspicious over God, wasn't he? Why does God need a starship? That sort of thing, isn't it? So he's suspicious. Anyway, it seems this Kalis knows his stuff. He knows all the old stories and that, and how Kalis forged the first bat'leth, blah, blah, blah. But it turns out he's not really Kalis. He does have some gaps in his memory, because that's not in the ancient writings. He does know one thing that I'm not sure about. It might have mentioned it, I don't know. But he has a conversation with Worf, and apparently when Worf were a boy, he had a vision. He was in some cave. I'm presuming this is maybe on Kittimer, I don't know, or maybe somewhere. I think it's before he ended up on Earth, with the I forgot the name of his parents, his human parents, Rashenkos. Before he was with the Rashenkos, I'm guessing. And he says, as a boy, he had a vision of Kahless in this cave. And he says that, it tells him, you had a vision of me as a boy. And I thought, did Worf tell anybody that? I don't know. It doesn't. I don't think it explains it. I could be wrong. Because it turns out, spoilers, this Kahless is a clone. They've cloned him from DNA that they had of Kahless. That is blood or something that were on the dagger. Gowron comes with his eyes. Windgrace, I've met Robert O'Reilly. Yes, I've met Robert O'Reilly, who plays Gowron. Yes. There he is. Obviously, he doesn't believe Kahless is legit. But anyway. Who is this Patak? But anyway. Oh, and he doesn't recognise Warnog. He has a drink and he kind of likes it. And Worf says, I'm sorry, our replicators can't do a good version of Warnog. Is it like blood wine or is it a different thing? I have no idea. But he makes some excuse. But anyway, it turns out he's a clone. They've cloned him because they want to reunite the Empire after the Civil War and all that. The Empire's still kind of split. And they want to reunite it under this figurehead of Kahless. But obviously, Gowron don't want that, and he ends up fighting with Kahless and beats him. And Kahless is like, I can't even beat him. I'm supposed to be the greatest warrior ever. And this is when we find out he's a clone. But Worf has this idea that, Kahless should become emperor because it seems that word of Kahless's return is spreading, and it doesn't matter that he's a clone. It's his legend that's still in the heads of all the Klingons. So whatever happens, if they kill him or whatever, it'll cause another civil war. So Worf has the idea of make Kahless the emperor, and he'll be like a figurehead. He won't have real power. He'll just be a figurehead, a bit like our king in the UK. He has no real power, but he's a figurehead. Bit like that. To do that, and Gowron says, okie dokie, and they all bow to him at the end. They all bow to Kahless, even Gowron. And there we go. And now we've got an Emperor Kahless, and I think he's mentioned maybe one or two more times. I don't think we see him again, but he's mentioned a couple more times. And that's about it. So there we go. So, yeah, whatever. It's a good episode. I quite like Rightful Air. But there we go. Next, 24. We're nearly at the end. Second Chances. This is where we get to meet Tom Riker. Who's, I don't know, it's been called is it a transporter clone, transporter copy? I don't know. It's not. They are the same person, but from the same transporter pattern. This is the one that makes you think, what do transporters actually do? Do they actually, are you the same person? Who knows? Anyway, they've arrived at this planet. Don't ask me what it's called. I can't remember. Where 8 years earlier, the Potemkin had arrived with young Lieutenant Paris, or 8 years younger. Lieutenant, not Paris, what's that Paris for? Lieutenant Riker had arrived and helped evacuate the station. And anyway, they've gone back. Meanwhile, Riker's doing some of his jazz. And says, any requests? And she says, Nightbird, and he don't want to play it. I wonder if it's like that. I don't know, that other thing that he couldn't play properly in that episode with that little kid alien. Don't know. But anyway, so they've arrived at the place, and they beam down, and turns out there's another Tom Riker there. Not another Tom, another Will Riker down there. He doesn't call himself Tom till at the end. He's Will Riker all the way through it. So we've got another one. He's got his mad hair. Looks obviously hasn't slept as this one, and he's got a slightly different beard. His beard's a little bit more fuller. But I listened to Nightbird today. I wouldn't even know it. Let's have a look, see if we can find it. Hang on. I have no idea. There's lots of night birds, and I don't know which is which. Is it this one? Is it this one? Spin it on a bit. Sounds depressing. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I wouldn't know it even if I heard it. Because Riker never got to play it. Anyway. Where were we? I just wanted to know if it was real. Anyway. So they found another Will Riker. And it turns out it was the last to beam out 8 years earlier. And the transporter chief, there was a problem in the atmosphere because of, I don't know, some distortion or whatever. And the transporter chief on the Potemkin used a secondary transporter beam. Pardon me. And so they got Will Riker out, and he shut off the other transporter beam, but that got bounced back down because of the stuff in the atmosphere. And the Lieutenant Riker, the other Will Riker, rematerialised back in the base, and he couldn't get in touch with them and tell him he was still down there. But obviously they had their Will Riker as well, so they just buggered off. So he was stuck there for 8 years. Thankfully, didn't end up like Ernest. I forgot his name. Ernest Littlewood. I can't remember his name. From Stargate SG-1. Luckily, he didn't just walk in naked like him, like Ernest from SG-1. Anyway, so take him back to the Enterprise, and so he's got to reintegrate now, but he falls back in love with Deanna. There we go, calls her Zadie and gives her a big kiss, and she falls back in love with Will. This is kind of a, as I said at the beginning, we see a couple of times that there's still feelings between them, and we know that they end up getting married, don't they, later, after the series is done. Well, in Star Trek Nemesis, they're getting married at the beginning of Star Trek Nemesis, aren't they? It is Nemesis, isn't it? Or is it Insurrection? Nemesis. They get back together in Insurrection, don't they? And then they get married in Nemesis. He goes to the Titan, doesn't he? Anyway, so we learn that they've still got feelings for each other. And she doesn't look as tanned in this episode, by the way. She was really tanned earlier on, wasn't she? Must be the uniform. So, and then the Rikers don't get on for some reason. Don't know why, but they just don't. But she's falling in love with him again, and anyway, they have to go back down to the planet and fix stuff, and our Riker ends up saving not young, but the same age, aren't they? But the other Riker's life on this bit. It all collapses here. Look, in a minute. There we go. It saves his life. And all that stuff. Anyway, so they get that fixed and sort that out. It turns out he's going away, is him, and he says, I'm going to call myself Tom, and I'm going to go away on this other ship. I can't remember which one it is. It does mention it, but I've forgotten. Does it say at the end? Where are we? Second chances. What ship does he go away on at the end? Windgrace is telling me right now. Just says got a new assignment on another ship. It could have bloody told us, couldn't it? Never mind. Goes away on another ship. Gandhi? I think it's the Gandhi, isn't it? Is it? I think it might be the Gandhi. He's going away on the Gandhi. And we never see him again in TNG. Anyway, by the way, he'd asked her to go with him, and she says, no, I want to stay here, but, still be friends, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we never see him again until Deep Space Nine, and we learn that he joined the Maquis. He jumped ship off the Gandhi or whatever, and joined the Maquis and shaved off his sides and got a goatee because he went evil, and fought the Cardassians and stuff. So there we go. And he's still around, isn't he? Because he's mentioned in Lower Decks, isn't he? Win Grace. I think he's mentioned in Lower Decks. So he's still knocking about somewhere. He survived his Cardassian incarceration because he was captured. But we'll get to that. Proper Riker's giving him a trombone, and off he goes. It's a good episode. His Second Chances. With Jonathan Frakes doing a lot of split screen acting. There is some good effects though, where they do cross paths. But there's a lot of where the eye lines aren't quite right. They're not quite looking at each other properly, but it's still well done. Right, moving on. Next up, the penultimate episode. This, I must admit, this is one of my favourites. Is this? I really like Timescape. I really, really do. Learn that Riker and Spot don't get on. There we go. We learn that. We learn that Picard and Data and Geordi and Deanna, I think it's just them four, have been to a symposium, so they're off the ship. They took a runabout off the. I want a runabout. They're amazing. They're like a Winnebago of Star Trek, aren't they? I want one. They've taken a runabout. They've been to some symposium. So Riker's in command of the Enterprise, and they're going to go and answer a distress call from let's go back. Answer a distress call from a Romulan ship. So off they go. So these are on the way back. There they are in their runabout. Cooler runabouts. Danube class. What other classes are there? I don't know, but anyway. The ones on Deep Space Nine are all named after rivers for some reason. Even the class. But anyway. Right, so they're all here talking about the symposium, and this is where she's talking about getting proposed to, sort of, in a proposition from one of the delegates who has a vaguely Irish accent, it seems. So they're all laughing at that, and this is where Picard went for a lecture by is it Professor Fassbinder or something like that, who talks in a very long, monotonous dialogue, bit like me, but except I'm not hypnotic. It's really quite hypnotic. Anyway, so there's all that. But then as she's watching, they all freeze. All go like that. Just like that. Time stopping, so the time is going weird and intersecting for some reason with the runabout. So it turns out there's these pockets of weird time going on, and it doesn't really explain why they're flying through these. I don't know. It doesn't really explain it, but they are doing these weird blobs of time distortion. So that's going on. She freezes as well, and Picard has a thing with a bowl of fruit. We're going to see it in a minute. There we are. Oh, there it is. Look, you see some fruit that's gone rotten, and then he goes to touch it, and then he goes, ah, and his fingernails have grown really long. And it's something like 47 days or something had passed for his hand. So he's got a hand that's 47 days older than the rest of him. Data's like, my head's 500 years older than that up there. But, so the weird stuff, timey-wimey stuff's happening like that. And anyway, they get back to the Enterprise. Well, they get to the rendezvous with the Enterprise. It's not there. So anyway, they find it. And it seems, oh no, something's going on. The Romulan ship's shooting at it. And there's some beam coming from the Enterprise, which is not a phaser. It's an energy beam. But they're frozen in time, it seems. So they've got to find a way to get over to the Enterprise to see what's going on. So Geordi develops. They must have some of those belts that they have in the animated series. You know, they use instead of spacesuits. It could be in like a force field, so you don't need a spacesuit. So it makes one of those. Except they put it on their arm, like a little pocket of time, so they can go on the Enterprise and not be frozen in time like the Enterprise is. Except it's not frozen, time's just moving really slowly. So that's what they're going to do. So they go over and they see everybody's all giving it like that. and we see that Beverly's being shot. Oh, there she is. Patricia Tallman's back as a Romulan this time, except she's not. She's an alien just looking like a Romulan. Beverly finds... not Beverly. Deanna finds Beverly being shot in a minute. Hang on. Where is it? Maybe it's later. I thought it was this bit. Go on, go back to it. There you go. She finds Beverly being shot by a Romulan. I don't know how they explain this one away. I don't know. Well, it's her, isn't it? Apparently she were over here a minute ago, or whenever. I don't know. But she's not frozen. She's just pretending to be. But we've seen Beverly's being shot. But that beam's not coming straight out of that, is it? Look, he's got his angle wrong. He's shooting there, isn't it? The nips. Yeah. They thought, no, we can't have a shoot. It can't be shooting the boobs. It's got to shoot her in the gut. So we met the beam a bit more of an angle. Nobody'll notice except now. Anyway, I learned that the Enterprise is undergoing a warp core breach. There we go, but a really slow one. There it is. It'll envelop the ship in 9 hours or whatever. And Picard goes a bit doolally and draws a smiley face on it. In a minute, there we go. He's laughing at it, drawing a smiley face on the vapor cloud, and then he goes, freaks out. So they beam him out, and he's had temporal narcosis, so he can't go back. So anyway, Data and the others beam over to the Romulan ship, and it turns out that there's weird things going on in the Romulan engine core, which is a forced quantum singularity. That's another one of the aliens. Turns out the aliens are using the forced quantum singularity as a nursery for their young, but something, because it's not a natural one, it's all gone wrong. And it's done this weird timey-wimey stuff. I don't really know. It doesn't really explain it very well. So they want to destroy the Enterprise because the Enterprise is doing an energy transfer and that's affecting it as well. Stuff, etc. Blah blah. Anyway, he gets injured and then he dies. But he tells them all. Does a bit of exposition and tells them what they need to know and what they need to do and all that stuff. But anyway. I think we see the Enterprise blow up. Have we gone past that bit? I think we've gone past that bit, haven't we? There we go. Oh no, it's not that. Where is it? There it is. Did we see it then? Oh, just missed it. There it is. Go on, show us. Go on. Show the Enterprise blow up. There it is. Oh. Wrong bit. Go back. There we go. The Enterprise blows up, and then time goes back, thankfully. It's just like, ooh, the Enterprise has blown up. I'd have been like, the Enterprise has blown up. But luckily, time reverses again, as we'll see. Here it goes. Reverses, and the Enterprise is whole again. He's like, ooh, that was a relief. I'd have been saying that anyway. It turns out that happened because they were doing some tricorder readings on the aliens in the black hole thing. And that affected that. So they find a way that they can do that, and then they can change stuff, and they can save Beverly, and save the aliens, and blah, 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 save the Enterprise, etc. And everything's back to normal, and everything's lovely, and the Romulans are our friends, etc. Blah, blah. And off they go. They go their way. We go ours. Data does a thing about time. A watch pot never boils, except it does, and stuff, and it's fine, and it's lovely. And it's a great episode. I love Timescape. I really do. It's one of my favourites of Season 6. It really is. Right, final episode, Descent, Part 1. This is where Hugh returns, but first Data is playing poker with the well-dressed man from X-Files, Stephen Hawking, the real Stephen Hawking, and Albert Einstein. I don't know who plays Albert Einstein. There he is. I don't know. Let's have a look. Who plays Albert Einstein? Does it say? It doesn't bloody say. Stephen Hawking himself doesn't tell us who played Albert Einstein. Never mind. But the well-dressed man from X-Files, he's in it as well. Him. Playing cards with them for some reason, just cause for. Stephen Hawking wins the game. Right, so anyway, they get a distress call from Oniaka 3, cool name. So they go there, they see everybody's dead. They beam down, see everybody's dead. Turns out it's the... Oh, for Pete's sake. It's the Borg. Go on, show us for Christ's sake. Data opens that door. And we see what's caused it. It's the Borg. Oh, no. Make sure we're still going. Make sure we're still going. Yes, we are. Right. Where were we? Borg. Yeah, so it's the Borg that have attacked. But it turns out these are just any Borg, and they're fast, and they have self. They have set of individuality. That's what I'm trying to say. They have individuality. They have names and stuff like that. So there we go. And he's going biological organism, Klingon, biological organism, human, blah blah blah. She's being got. Grunt. Right, Data kills one of them, and for some reason he gets angry, and he says, "Stop!" and he kills this Borg with his bare hands. And it doesn't explain why he gets angry here. He just does. Because he says, I felt angry, and then I felt felt pleasure after killing the Borg. And doesn't explain why. Because later on, spoilers for part 2, which we're not going to cover this week, but spoilers for that. It's Law that's doing something. He's given one of the Borg a little thing on his arm, and he taps it, and it goes... And it activates or it deactivates. It does something with Data. It makes him have emotions or whatever. It does something weird with it. Turns Data into a baddie, basically. But that hasn't happened here yet, as far as we know. But anyway. So they beam out. We see that the Borg have got themselves a big old ship. If it shows it. There we go. Got a big... Don't know where they got it from. Did they build it? Did they steal it? Don't know, because it's not like a Borg cube, is it? It's just a weird big old ship. Proper big. Look how big it is compared to the Enterprise. It's huge. Anyway, they bugger off, and it turns out they've got transwarp conduits and all that stuff. So they can't follow them. So they go back to Oniaka 3. And Data asks for to be relieved of duty while he sorts out why he got angry and all that stuff. But he can't figure it out. He doesn't know. He can't repeat it. Meanwhile, she's back. Admiral Nechayev giving Picard a dressing down because she talked to him about Hugh from season 4, 5. Was it last season or season before? The Iborg episode. And she said, you had a Borg as your prisoner, and you could have destroyed them all, but you decided not to. Next time it happens, you take the opportunity, you'll destroy the Borg and stuff. He says, well, whatever. Anyway, Data's wanting to know how he got angry and all that stuff, and he can't recreate it. He doesn't understand why he can't recreate it. But anyway. So they've got to, there we go, they end up going through a transwarp conduit. They do talk about, we hear about them all the time in Voyager, don't we? Because there's loads of Borg stuff in the Voyager with transwarp conduits and stuff. And in this one, I think it's the first time it's mentioned, and we learn that they're going like 20 times faster than maximum warp. So that's how come they can get, how come they can get lots of places in the galaxy, the Borg, really quick. Anyway, yes, one of the Borg survived, by the way, so they beam him back and she treats him and he's fine and all. It turns out he's called Croesus, and he's the one that makes Data turn bad. There he goes, talking to Data, and while he's talking to Data, he does a, he activates a thing. He's going to do it now. Where is it? It might be later. He activates the thing and it goes, a little green thing. And it turns Data bad, and he says, yes, I would kill Geordie if I could get those emotions back. So anyway. So they end up going through they follow the ship through Data and Croesus, I think it's called that, escape the Enterprise on a shuttle, one of the crappy little work bee type shuttles, not a proper one, but one of the little ones, and they generate a transwarp conduit, and the Enterprise follows them through or whatever, recreates it. That's it. And they end up on this planet that's at magic hour, and the beam down to the shuttle, and there's no sign of Data or the Borg. So, and I don't know what's going on. That for some reason Picard orders basically nearly the entire crew to beam down and start looking for Data and the Borg, and then he orders like shuttles to fly about and do reconnaissance. And is there something? Are the scanners not working or whatever? I don't know. I don't know if it says or not. It might have done. I just might not be very, attentive. Let me have a look. See if it says anything in the. I don't think it'll say in this synopsis that's on Thingamabob. Wikipedia. Oh yes, something in the planet's atmosphere is blocking their sensors. Right, fair enough. So Picard decides to conduct a ground search using nearly the whole crew of the Enterprise. And the skeleton crew remains on board with them. Dr. Crusher in command. First person to play themselves in Trek. Stephen Hawking. Was he? Maybe so. Yeah, so there's something blocking the sensors. So it beams almost the entire crew down to search for the Borg. But luckily, Deanna just happens to be stood on a little bit of a rise. And she finds them. There they are. Look, they're set off. Look. So these shuttles flying about, doing aerial reconnaissance, obviously no good. So off they go. And look, they're here, look. They're having a minute, look, get a tricorder out. But Deanna's up top of hill. There she is. Look, I think I've found something. And they have a look. And hang on, there's a big bloody building there. There it is. How did they not notice? Oh, for Pete's sake! Show us it. No, it's not going to show it, is it? For Christ's sake! It's bloody. There it is. How did they not notice that? It's behind these trees. They must have been over that way. They didn't see it for them trees. Anyway, so they head over there, and it says, "Well, this built by the Borg?" Says, "I don't think so." So they go in. And we see lots of very fascistic symbolism going on here. That's obviously the Borg symbol, isn't it? Is this the first time we see the Borg symbol? I don't know. I don't know if we've seen it in previous encounters with the Borg. I think it might be. The regular Borg, because these aren't regular Borg. Spoilers when we get to that. These aren't regular Borg, are they? So did they create this symbol, or do the Borg that we see in Voyager have that symbol? I can't remember, but anyway. All the Borg come running out. There they are, surround them. A yellow shirt, they don't have red shirts, so it's a yellow shirt gets killed. I presume he gets killed. He gets shot anyway. I presume he gets killed. Anyway, turns out it's. He goes, "Oh, Data!" Because he comes out. There he goes, he's getting killed. And says, "No, it's Law." There you go. So Law's there. And he says, "Hello. I'm not alone." And then Data comes out. And he's all evil. Just a minute. Data comes. Oh, for Pete's sake. Where is he? Come on, Data. Where are you? Data comes out anyway, And there you go. And cause you can tell he's evil because he's smirking. And he says, we will destroy, the sons of Sung have joined together and we will destroy the Federation. Don't know why he wants to destroy the Federation, but he just does. With his smirk, because he's evil, look, he's evil Data. And that's how it ends, because it's to be continued, excited shouting. Look, and they're all... So when she ain't got her mouth open, innit? Geordie's got his mouth open today. She should be like... Anyway, Picard doesn't seem that bothered, does he? He's seen it all before. Says, we'll sort it out next season. We'll sort it out in January. At the beginning of the year. What's he smiling for? I don't know. A happy Borg, look. I'm waiting for the to be continued thing. There it is, to be continued. What's going to happen? Who knows? We'll have to wait until I finally watch season 7. And hopefully I get through it quicker than I did season 6. It took me 3 weeks to watch season 6. Unbelievable. Anyway, I think it was 3 weeks, wasn't it? Yeah. So there we go. So that's the end of season 6. A decent season, but there were some episodes I didn't like. Frame of Mind, I don't like that. Rascals, it kind of annoys me, but I don't mind the story. And that's about it, really. I don't know what others were there. I'm not a huge fan of the Exocomp episode, Quality of Life. It's alright. But most of the others are okay. I don't mind. Oh, the Man of the People. That might be my least favourite episode, actually. Yeah. Man of the People's my least favourite episode of season 6. Not Frame of Mind. Anyway, so there we go. So that's the end of Star Trek Next Generation. Season 6. Data's a baddie and they're going to destroy the Federation. How will they stop all this? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Right. So we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. That's a decent season. Not the best, but decent. Right. So, what's coming up next? What day are we on? Wednesday. Friday. Where the hell have I put it? There it is. Friday for Appointment with Fear this week. We're doing, I've just got it on Blu-ray, Waxwork. Yeah, arrived yesterday. Waxwork. Cool film. Better than it deserves to be. If that makes sense. So that's on Friday. Next Monday, have I decided what next Monday is? Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, which I also have on Blu-ray, but it's over there. I haven't got it out yet. So we'll leave it there. Go and watch Win Grace's video, How Moriarty Changes Everything, Picard Season 3 Theory. Was he right? I can't actually remember. Probably not. As I said on my video earlier on today, all fan theories are always wrong. Especially mine. Right, so we're done and dusted. So thanks, Winnie Grace, for keeping me company while I waffle on for 3 hours again. They go on too long, these ones, don't they? I've made a rod for my own back. Decided to do this, haven't I? So we'll leave it there anyway. So, hang on, let me get sorted. There we go. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos and all that stuff. Explore the description for links and all that malarkey, for merch, etc. Wherever you are, look after each other, and until next time, live long and prosper, and I'll say thee.